2, Braga 1. Surge straight away from Union. It'll be interesting to see if they're able to grab the initiative here. Do you think Bonza just caught Behrens with his arm, and that's why he's picked up the yellow card? But felt Union dropped a bit deeper in the final 15 minutes of that first half. They'll want to push the envelope a bit more, play a little bit higher.
Well, it is Josip Juranovic standing over this free kick, which is 35 metres out, inside left channel. He plays it square, though, to Becker for a slight change of angle for the delivery. And then it goes towards Behrens, who was so comfortably offside. The referee's assistant felt he could raise his flag immediately, and it will be a Braga free kick. We've played 90 seconds of the first half, Union leading 2-1.
Penalty in Austria and a potential route back into the game for Salzburg. Rocco Simic fouled by Alejandro Ramiro, the Real Sociedad goalkeeper, who picked up a yellow card. 3 players tried to bring him down. Eventually it was the goalkeeper who felled him. So Salzburg, who are 2-0 down at home, do have an opportunity here to get themselves back into the contest.
Becker with the touch for Behrens, left-hand side. Behrens tried to play it back infield to Becker, who just arced his run in a slightly different direction, and it ends up harmlessly behind for a goal kick. 2-1. It remains to Union Berlin.
Well, Rocco Simic, it looks like, is going to take the penalty. The referee, Bartosz Frankowski, is just potentially just having a chat with the video assistant referees. I will keep you updated, but as things stand, it is a penalty to Salzburg. 2-0 down at home to Real Sociedad. They need to score it.
Braga survive an early second half scare then to keep it at 2-1, the scoreline by which they were beaten on Matchday 1 at home by Napoli. Headed forward by Bonucci for Union. Niakate, the scorer of the Braga goal, backpedaling. He was able to keep the ball alive, but the pass into Borja was hit with a little bit too much ferocity for the Colombian to prevent it going out of play for a throw.
Good start to the half from Union. Just going back to that Behrens chance, I think he was onside actually, but again, it's just that slight dip in confidence. Didn't want to take the shot on himself. A few weeks ago, I think he might have done. 5
without a goal, Kevin Behrens, after 4 in the first 2. The goals have dried up for him as the cross comes into the area, which is claimed comfortably by Mateus. Yet his goalless run coincides with Union Berlin's losing run of 5 games, that they've given themselves a very, very healthy opportunity of coming to an end tonight. Chris, what news of the penalty?
Yeah, there was a VAR check and the decision has been overturned. So no yellow card for Alejandro Romero and no penalty for Salzburg, who still trail by 2-0 at home to the side from northern Spain.
Scarves held tautly above the heads of the Union Berlin fans as their side attacks down the right-hand side. And it is an attack which yields a corner kick. Toussaint with the work, as we get confirmation that it was Bonza who was showing that early second half yellow card. So 49 minutes played, and Union Berlin have started this second half positively. They have started it on the front foot, and they are inside opposition territory again, and that has given the home support that chance to rediscover their voices after the 30-minute half-time hiatus, and many of them took the opportunity to go and get some refreshment by the look of things. Juranovic it is, standing over the corner kick on the right-hand side. Going to be an outswinger, right-footed. It's a good one, which very, very nearly is met by Behrens, who was attacking it with a great amount of vigour, but couldn't quite get his head to the ball and turn it goalwards.
One of the features of Union's rise in recent years has been their amazing ability to score from set plays time and time again. Juranovic takes a very good dead ball. He whipped that in with great shape on it. Behrens so strong in the air, able to attack it. To give Braga their due, they actually defended that very, very well.
Mateus with the ball at his feet, the Braga goalkeeper. He can only really poke it clear as far as Toussaint, and will be mightily relieved to see it end up at the feet, the ball of Al-Mazrati, who pokes it into the path of Orta, who spreads it out to the right-hand side. Mendes on his Champions League debut attacking, sends the cross in too deep for Bonza, but as Juranovic tries to steer it back to his goalkeeper, he slightly overpaces the header, and behind it goes for an early second-half corner to Braga.
I think Joe Mendes has done really well there. I think it's a good ball in. I think he's entitled to feel that somebody's going to come in at that far post, so he put it into a good area, and that's forced the corner. He's got into some really good positions, the youngster down the right.
Salazar will take this corner kick. With 51 minutes played, and an opportunity for Braga to get themselves back level to 2-2. Instead, he angles it out towards Orta on the edge of the penalty area. He lays it square. What a good effort that is! What a quite sensational goal to equalise for Braga! Right at the start of the second half, it's an absolute stunner! A blast from distance into the top corner to make it Union Berlin 2, Braga 2.
Well, it was beautifully done, and Bruma strikes it so fiercely from range. But what's so impressive about it, Stephen, is that this is designed. This is absolutely what they're meant to do. They've chipped it to Orta, just a few meters outside the penalty area. He knows Bruma's made that run into the centre, and he trusts Bruma's ability to strike that ball on goal. It is beautifully hit, because what he's done is he's not just thrashed at it, he's hit it with pace but also accuracy just inside the post. He's done this numerous times in his career, and he has been in sensational form for Braga. That is a world-class goal.
Bruma's 6th of the season, his 5th in the Champions League, including the qualifiers, to go with the one he scored against Napoli on match day 1, which got the game back to 1-1 on that occasion. He's got this one back to 2-2, and he will hope now, though, that that is the platform for a first point, or maybe even better, of the group stage for Braga. It is a goal that is certainly worthy of some kind of reward at the conclusion, because it was one of the very best you will see in the Champions League. And now all of a sudden Braga look revitalised, and the ball is driven out of play by Juranovic, who's convinced his was not the final touch, but it will be a Braga throw. Juranovic, the player that conceded the corner kick, from which Braga have equalised in quite sensational fashion.
It was such an impressive strike, but it was what went before it, Stephen, that was, I think, equally impressive. The fact that not only have they picked out Orta with the corner, but his layoff first time was beautiful for Bruma. So then it's just an invitation for him. Can you hit the target from that range? And boy, did he do it. It was a wonderful hit.
Incredible stuff. And now Braga, from 2-0 down, have got it back to 2-2. And this game is very much in the balance now. It could go either way. And on a night when we felt as though both would feel there was a little bit of pressure to secure a victory, well, both sides still have an opportunity to get that victory. Although the card is out here for Diogo Leite, who is hobbled away from the scene of the crime and has been given a yellow card to go with that injury, having slid in late on Álvaro de Jallo.
Well, this is the first of 2 commentary matches tonight. Later, Napoli against Real Madrid, and John Bradley has the team news.
Yes, injury problems in central defence for the home side means a Champions League debut for Nathan. They have Mere in goal, Di Lorenzo, Ostigard, Nathan and Oliveira, Zambo and Gisa, Lobotka and Zielinski in midfield, Politano, Osimhen returns up front with Kvaratskhelia. For Real Madrid, Joselu is left on the bench. Still no Modric as well is the headline team news. They, as always, have Adita Bala-Kepa in goal, Carvajal, Nacho, Rudiger, Camavinga at the back, Tchouameni, Kroos and Bellingham and Valverde in midfield. Vinicius Junior and Rodrigo are up front. There you go.
Can't wait. Kick off in an hour. John Bradley getting through 22 names in record pace. And it's going to be some match, that is for sure. Team news from the other 5 late games to come. Corner kick in Berlin,
where it's Union 2, Braga 2. Salazar to whip in this corner. Last time Braga had a corner in this situation, they got themselves level in the game. Something a little bit more orthodox, which Arono struggles to deal with. It's come off his fist and out of play for a corner on the other side. That was an awkward one.
Yeah, I think if he does have an area of improvement, Renault, it is commanding his penalty area. When he comes out there, he doesn't really convince with that particular punch. Yes, he puts it behind for another corner, but it was far from ideal.
The balloon which Bruma produced to blow in celebration of his equalising goal is lying in the corner quadrant from which Salazar has just delivered the corner, and then Bruma takes aim with considerably less impact than the shot a few moments ago. This time with his left foot he scuffed it somewhat and it ends up out of play for an Union Berlin throw. That was somewhat comical all round.
I'm not good enough at blowing up balloons. It'd be quite embarrassing if I tried to do that after scoring. It'd take far too long.
John, I can blow them up, but I can't tie them off.
So between us,
we'd be able to host a party between us. Okay. Niakate on the edge of his own area, clears for Braga. De Jallo chasing it down, and all of a sudden it's Union Berlin in this topsy-turvy contest that look the more unsettled of the two. Remember, they led 2-0. Goals on 30 and 37 minutes scored by Geraldo Becker before Niakate got one back 4 minutes before half-time. And Bruma has produced a stunner 5 minutes into the second half to get us back to all square and back to 2-2. That's going to be an Union Berlin free kick. Salazar sliding in on Behrens. It's the referee's assistant that has spotted the infringement and made the decision. But Salazar wasn't convinced there was much in the way of contact, but it wasn't actually the foot he tried to win the ball with. It was the other one that tripped his opponent.
Second one, isn't it? That just catches him right at the end. It was a good run by Behrens. They're still working that right-hand side, Union, every time they get an opportunity, trying to get in behind Borja and Salazar, because Salazar isn't always backing Borja up on that flank.
Juranovic with the free kick for Union Berlin, desperate to get themselves back in front. Headed away to the edge of the penalty area from where Braga can now break. Can they do to Union what Union did so effectively to them on a couple of occasions in the first half? I have to say the German side have done a better job of the two of regrouping quickly defensively to make sure that there isn't a counter-attack able to be produced by the Portuguese. Al-Musrati for Mendes, attacking down the right-hand side, playing the ball across the face of goal. And it's only just dealt with by Union, who looks suddenly shaky at the back.
It's Joe Mendes again. It's causing all kinds of problems down that right-hand side. Gozens just isn't tracking him for whatever reason. Or maybe he's just a little too quick for Gozens, but he's getting into good positions time and time again on the right-hand side. Went for the low cross this time, which I think was the right option. Union only just managed to scramble it away, but at some stage they're going to have to try and lock him down.
Into Banza goes the ball. Here's Mendes. Enjoys that freedom to suddenly get forward. Orta with a dink beyond the reach of Álvaro de Jallo. Away by Juranovic, who's able to clear up to halfway, where Niakate allows the ball to bounce past him before sending it back to the edge of his own penalty area to goalkeeper Matthäus. 58.5 minutes played at the Olympiastadion in Berlin. 2-2. Braga having come from 2-0 down to get the game back level, and now the Portuguese are attacking down the left, and they're doing so with Bruma with the ball at his feet, although he doesn't make much progress on that occasion, and Salazar has to chase it back to halfway before once again bringing goalkeeper Matthäus into the action, making his 306th Braga appearance tonight. The Brazilian goalkeeper, who is in his 10th season with the club. He is the longest serving member of the team currently. And it goes to Salazar, left-hand side, shoveling it on to Borja, who tries to ride a challenge, but Braga have kept possession of the ball despite momentarily looking like they were going to lose it, and once again have tried something from distance. That one, though, is closer to hitting the corner flag than the back of the net, and it remains 2-2 as we approach the hour mark. Some
more team news coming in for the later games. Rob Daly is going to be watching Manchester United against Galatasaray.
Thanks, Chris. Yes, Manchester United hand a Champions League debut to young winger Hannibal. He starts in attack with Bruno Fernandes, Marcus Rashford and Højlund. Amrabat plays at left back again due to injuries at the back for Manchester United. Galatasaray do start Wilfried Zaha back at Manchester United and back in England once again. Just one alteration from the weekend. Lots of star names like Davison Sanchez and Mauro Icardi in their 11.
Yeah, and he is banging form elsewhere in Group A. Copenhagen against Bayern tonight. But I'll break away.
The gears, looking really good, looking purposeful. Here's Ricardo Horta with space from which to shoot. And that's a really good save, diving to his left by Renaud to beat it away.
Yeah, it was a great run by Bruma, just committing men to the attack, and then he's just able to slip it to Horta. He's just gone for power, and Renaud well placed, able to make the save, but Bruma starting to really affect the game after the opening half hour.
Well, he was so influential, Bruma, in terms of getting Braga through to the Champions League group stage, and having scored the equaliser, he wasn't too far away from creating the chance from which Horta could Braga 3-2 up. 2-2 though it still is.
Yeah, just quickly on that other game in Group A, Copenhagen against Bayern. No Elias Yeller tonight for Copenhagen, who is suspended. No Matthias de Ligt, no Serge Gnabry tonight for Bayern. Their front four is pretty handy though. Musiala, Zane, Coman, and of course Harry Kane. Goals as they go in from Parken tonight. Copenhagen against Bayern.
Struggle for goals, those four, though, wouldn't they? Offside flag is up against Geraldo Becker as he attacked down the left for Union Berlin, and there's a frustration all of a sudden about every single member of the home side, who must be wondering how on earth they have let a 2-0 lead slip, and from a position where they were overwhelmingly the superior of the two teams. Very different picture now, with Braga dictating not only the possession, which they were in the first half, but also getting the territorial advantage, and that is a very different situation to what we saw in the opening 45 minutes, Kevin Hatchard.
But at this level in the UEFA Champions League, you get undone by quality. And if you look at the first goal, it's from a set piece. Horta with a great strike. Yes, the goalkeeper should probably deal better with it. He will know that, but it's still a good strike. The second goal from a set piece is absolutely outrageous. So sometimes that's the quality you face at this level.
A lovely little flick on to Behrens, who looked offside, and the flag does now go up with the move running out of steam on the edge of the Braga penalty area. 2-2, 62 minutes played. Changes on their way before we tell you about those. Chris.
Yeah, a bit of team news. Lens against Arsenal this evening. The English side pick Takahiro Tomiyasu at right back, who replaces Ben White. One change from the team that really trounced PSV Eindhoven 2 weeks ago. From Lens's point of view, Fulgini, who got the equaliser at Sevilla, is left out of the 11 tonight, with Adrien Thomasin coming in. It's going to be some atmosphere in the north of France tonight. Lens against Arsenal, one of the late games we will keep you abreast of right here on Matchday Live.
So the changes for Union Berlin, 2 of them. Issa Laidouni taking over from Lucas Toussaint in midfield, and Kevin Volland on to play in the Champions League for Union Berlin, returning to action after serving a 3-game domestic suspension last played in the Champions League for Bayer Leverkusen, at least Champions League proper, only ever played in the qualifiers during his time with Monaco. So welcome back to the Champions League group stages, 31-year-old Kevin Volland.
Yeah, super player, Volland, and he's one of those players that technically is better than Behrens, not as strong in the air, so it's a different threat now.
Here come though Braga, the better of the two teams since we resumed, and it's Christian Borja a long way forward on the left-hand side, looking to shake off Leonardo Bonucci, and many others have tried and failed, yeah. So he can be forgiven for the ball trickling harmlessly behind for a goal kick.
That's where Bonucci is so strong in those one-on-one defensive situations. One
of the very best. PSV against Sevilla, another of the late games. 5 changes for Sevilla from the team that were beaten by Barcelona at the weekend. Jesus Navas and Gudeli return in defence for them. PSV's team news is really interesting. Gus Tillman is picked in central midfield. Their front three, Bakayoko, Luke de Jong and Noah Lang. So Herving Lozano once more on the bench. PSV against Sevilla, one of the games kicking off in 50 minutes time.
Well, from nothing, Union Berlin have a corner, ball smeared behind by Niakate when he was trying to put it out of play for a throw, but he somewhat sliced it, and behind instead it goes for a corner, and all of a sudden Urs Fischer is out to the edge of his technical area in anticipation of his side producing something from this corner, which is going to be whipped in from the left-hand side by Josip Juranovic.
It's a bit of space here for Duki at the far post. He really attacks the ball brilliantly in these situations, and he's not really being marked.
Juranovic does go deep with it, and it's headed away by Al Musrati, only as far as the edge of the penalty area. As it's returned, it's Serdar Saci who heads it clear once again. All of a sudden, though, Union Berlin have got players deep in opposition territory and have now got themselves a free kick right on the very edge of the penalty area in a central position as Ricardo Horta is penalised.
He's done really well there, Gozens. He made sure he got in between the ball and the player who was trying to dispossess him, stuck at it, made sure that he got that free kick. It was Harbour initially who caused the chaos, and then Horta just a little bit too late on Gozens. And this is a dangerous area. Juranovic can hit them, Gozens can hit them. All kinds of options. We know that Volland, although he's moved into the wall, so he's not interested. They do have players who can strike the ball with real venom. Does look as though Juranovic is the only show in town.
Well, he's been taking the dead balls, the corners and the free kicks around the penalty area now. This is a shooting opportunity. Hasn't scored this season, but did get 4 in the second half of last season after joining from Celtic in Scotland. He has contributed previously in the colours of Union Berlin, and as we approach the midway point in this second half, he is looking to contribute again. Josip Juranovic lining it up. There are 5 in the Braga wall, plus a couple of players wearing the red of Union Berlin. Juranovic curls it straight into the wall, which jumped in unison and stood firm. Kral sends it in towards Becker, who's on a hat-trick, and he nods the ball across the face of goal, trying to find a teammate, and will have to settle for a throw out on the left-hand side. In the context of this second half, that's a rare moment of threat from Union.
Yeah, it was the right thing to do from Becker, just trying to nod that down, make the defenders play. I think Juranovic will be a bit disappointed he didn't get the elevation he needed from that free kick. But as you say, Union with possession in the Braga half.
Gersens launches the throw from the left-hand side. It's off the head of Durkee. Becker tried to keep it in play, but couldn't. It had drifted behind. It'll be a goal kick. All of a sudden, on a couple of occasions there, Robin Gersens, who's not had as big an influence on the game as somebody who has played plenty of Champions League football in the past for Atalanta and Inter might have done, has shown that a little bit of nous and know-how is worth a great deal at this level.
Yeah, and he's made a really good impact. I think he felt he needed a reset. He wasn't getting the games that he wanted necessarily at Inter. He's come to Germany. You know, he hadn't been a Bundesliga player. Bizarrely, as a German international, he'd actually come to prominence in Italy, and so this is his big chance in the Bundesliga, and he seems to really be relishing that chance.
Gersens in field with his right foot. 1 or 2 suggestions from Braga players that Volland was coming back from an offside position, but he's allowed to continue as he chases down Borja, who sends the ball up the left-hand side. It's very nicely controlled by Orta, whose first touch enables him to take a bit of space. Now he's got it back again, Orta, this time unable to navigate a route past his marker, and it's Union who are breaking down the right and looking to impose themselves again, but that's a really fine challenge by Christian Borja, who just stood his ground. The opponent wanted him to make his mind up for him which way he was going to go. Borja wasn't having any of it.
But they're the kind of traps that Union are trying to set for Braga, because they're trying to get them to play the ball in advanced areas, trying to win it and then slam into the counter-attack. Didn't quite work then, but it's dangerous.
21 minutes to play in Berlin. Union 2, Braga 2.
Final bits of team news from the late games. Inter against Benfica, and Benjamin Pavard is chosen ahead of Matteo Darmian on the right-hand side of Inter's back three. As expected, their lineup, apart from that and from Benfica's point of view. Angel Di Maria starts, but so does Juan Bernat, who is handed his debut on loan from Paris Saint-Germain. He will begin the match at left-back.
Dooney with the ball down the line to Volland, the other substitute. Volland whips it in. It was an attempt to whip it in across the face of goal, but it ends up rather harmlessly in the arms of Mateus.
It's a tough one for Volland because he's very left-footed, and he was determined to play that in with his left foot. Didn't really have the angle for that. I think had he been more confident on his right, probably would have whipped it first time, but he was much more comfortable coming inside.
No harm being very left-footed. Always looks a bit more elegant.
That's true.
The very left-sided sports people have an element of elegance about them. Becker, what a cross that is! Oh, chance not taken. Volland from right in front of the goal can only fire it right into the midriff of Mateus, who makes the save.
The cross is outrageous. It's such a good cross, and he's able to do that off either foot. Picks out Volland perfectly. This is where Becker's so dangerous, because he is genuinely two-footed, and it's a nightmare for defenders because they don't know if he's going to go outside, going to go inside. He couldn't have played that any more accurately, and Volland is just trying to hit it as hard as he can on the half volley. Around about the penalty spot, it's just straight at the goalkeeper.
With his right foot.
With his right foot.
Incidentally. I mean, it's a great effort. He's caught it beautifully. The delivery from Becker, he didn't have to break his stride, Volland. He just had to open his foot and just try and guide it one side of the goalkeeper or the other. He's hit it with such venom, though, that Mateus is a little bit slow getting back to his feet. It's one that's made him wince.
Yes, I think Mateus has pouched that in a sensitive area. He's taken one for the team. It's a great save, actually.
However you save it,
yes,
whichever part of the anatomy,
yes,
matters a huge amount when there's 19 minutes left and it's 2-2.
Could easily have been 3-2. And how many of those do you see that fly into the top corner? So, and that's what great goalkeeping is all about, being in the right place at the right time. He's made himself big and he's made the save.
Another day, Volland mishits that into the top corner and it looks an unbelievable goal.
Yeah.
Instead, he caught it true with his less favoured right foot. And 2-2 it remains. Now, card is coming out here for a poor challenge by Salazar, who has left the boot in and is apologetically across to console Juranovic, who was the Union player on the receiving end. Juranovic just got there first, just poked it away, and as he continued to run towards the ball, Salazar's leg, well, it was there and remained there, and it was a nasty scrape down the knee with the studs on the bottom of Salazar's boot. The reaction, he immediately looked at the referee. He knew that was a bad one.
Yeah, his work without the ball could do with some refinement. He knows that. That was mentioned when he was at Schalke, but the effort's there. That's the thing. He will work hard. He will back up the player behind him. But it's just as he becomes more experienced and plays more games, I think he will learn to be a bit cleaner in his work without the ball. Talking
of experience, how about this for some experience to throw into the cauldron of the contest? João Moutinho is one of those coming on. The other, with Salazar perhaps understandably being withdrawn, is Adrian Marin. So on comes Adrian Marin. But João Moutinho for Salazar is the notable introduction in terms of giving Braga a little bit more Champions League know-how in their midfield. 62nd appearance in the competition proper for João Moutinho, who had been close to rejoining Porto from Wolves in the summer before opting for something a little bit different, a new experience, a new challenge with Braga. Adrian Marin is also on, and he is on for the left-back Christian Borja.
Yeah, and he's gone straight out to that left-back area, so it is a straight change at left-back. Yeah, you're absolutely right about Moutinho. I mean, it's all about game management, isn't it, at this stage of a big Champions League game. He's got so much experience, not just at this level, but as you say, in Portugal, in the Premier League as well. He's played an outrageous number of games for his country as well. So, you know, that's who you want to be able to bring on with 16 minutes to go. And that's been the big shift with Braga's policy, really, that it used to be all about developing young talent. It still is about developing young talent. But you look at guys like Bruma, like Moutinho, guys who are more experienced, that Jose Font's another one that they've been willing to bring in to try and get a little bit closer more consistently to the top three in Portugal. They were able to do it last season, finished above Sporting, finished third. They want to try and do that each and every season, and they think that's the way to do it, to help these young guys with the nous around them, and they do look like a team that's got a nice balance about it.
Here come Union, and they're looking good for a third goal. Instead, though, it's the side netting as Geraldo Becker tries to steer it in from a very unfavourable angle. So close to the hat-trick for Geraldo Becker, who was momentarily down in a heap just beyond the goal line. I wondered whether he was hurt.
Goalkeeper, all he can do is just try and touch it around them. It's a nice little chest trap, actually, but it's so difficult to whip his right boot around it and score. He's claiming he was pushed a bit, but I don't think he was, and he's just tried to score from a really tight angle. But that was great from Laiduni to actually set him up in the first place.
14 minutes to play, plus stoppage time. 2-2 from a position where Union Berlin were leading 2-0 after 37 minutes to goals either side of half-time for Braga. Scored by Niakate and Bruma to get it back to 2-2. It's a great point you made about the benefit of experience on younger players. I thought that Newcastle on Saturday, where Sven Botman was injured at the weekend, but maybe back to face Kylian Mbappe and Paris Saint-Germain for Newcastle or tomorrow night, Wednesday night. And Jose Font had a huge part to play in his development at Lille. You know, that's a guy that we might see, a young central defender playing in the Champions League tomorrow night, who got that benefit of a couple of seasons playing alongside a seasoned veteran as they just learned to plot their way through the professional game. It's absolutely priceless, that kind of learning experience. Sachi on the edge of the penalty area. Sachi playing instead of Jose Font tonight for Braga, who are attacking through the middle and suddenly looking purposeful. Bonza wouldn't open up for the shot. That's because Bonucci was the player he had to try and get the better of, and Bonucci simply isn't going to give an inch, never mind a mile. Out wide to the right it goes for Bruma. Mendes on the overlap. What a good cross that was. Fired in towards the near post. It's gone behind off Bonza, but every time he comes forward, Joe Mendes, he looks really, really good.
He's played ever so well. Lots of energy, really quick, always willing to try and get in behind and get that cross in. It was well dealt with in the end at the near post by Diogo Leite, who tracked the run. But I've been really impressed with Joe Mendes throughout this second half. Just to point on Bonucci, the key to that piece of defending was that he didn't move. He didn't move, he stayed exactly where he was. He said, OK, Bonza, you can have those step overs and do what you like, but he wasn't able to move the ball.
All of a sudden, though, Union Berlin thinking that there might be an opening for them with Volland sniffing around on the edge of the penalty area. Kral. Laiduni gets it back from Juranovic. Laiduni bursting away from challenges across the face of goal. Geraldo Becker trying to line himself up and then try to curl it as the options evaporated quickly. He almost had too many of them swinging around in his head with that hat-trick moment presenting itself.
I think the idea was right. He's just trying to bend it in the far corner, but he doesn't get the venom on it that he needs, and the defender can clear.
Cross from the left-hand side is flicked away by the substitute Adrian Marin, and then a shot is fired in from the edge of the penalty area, which sails well over the crossbar of Mateus. It was Juranovic who was trying to catch the goalkeeper unaware with his left foot rather than his right.
Yeah, it was a hopeful effort, really. The idea was right to try and curl that into the top corner, but didn't really get it right. But one of the things we've seen, Stephen, actually, in the last couple of minutes, that we haven't seen probably enough from an Union Berlin point of view, those eights, Aysel Ayduni and Yannick Harborough, starting to try and make the extra man, bursting from midfield. Haven't really been able to do that much so far, but Ayduni with a good surge into the penalty area, that's what led to Becker having the chance, and obviously wasn't able to take advantage. But Union, I think, need to start doing that more.
We're into the stage of the game where it's about who's going to respond to the big moment that may well come their way. A ball is just deflected off the head of Bonza and behind for an Union Berlin goal kick, but it's the nervy stage of the game now, with 79 minutes and 15 seconds on the clock. Just 10 minutes and change remaining, and time still for somebody to make a name for themselves. Ball forward through the middle for Volland is quite heavily overhit. No chance of that being chased down.
The run was good and the idea was good, but the execution not so. He's just trying to bend that in behind the defender. Volland had actually made a really smart run.
Orta loses possession. Nice body swerve from Arbara. Here comes Becker on the left. His cross doesn't reach its intended destination, and Becker once again flagged offside. Braga have got that defensive line back sorted out. There was a red card, by the way, for someone, a member of Braga's backroom staff, sent off from the touchline a short time ago. Here comes the latest change. It's a Union Berlin change. Brendan Aronson, the player on loan from Leeds, who made a substitute appearance at the Bernabeu on match day 1, is thrown into the action late on again in place of Yannick Arbara.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. Fresh legs. Aronson, we know, is all about energy, trying to make those runs that I'm talking about from that number 8 position, and just trying to make the extra man, because one of the things you see with Geraldo Becker, when he pulls into those wide areas, he can cross to the number 8.
Becker with the layoff. And across the face of goal, Niakate putting the ball behind from a dangerous position. Braga very nearly punished for conceding possession right on the edge of their own penalty area.
It's great work in the first place by Aronson, but then when he gets played through by Becker, he doesn't actually get his head up. He just plays it blind, looking for Becker. Had 2 players coming in at the far post. If he just lifts that to the far post, it's there to be attacked, and that is the real opportunity, but he just played it blind.
Tough to get those decisions right, with the maelstrom of noise and the sense of occasion and the pressure all weighing heavily down upon you. And one thing that Union Berlin do have now is a corner kick to be taken by Josip Juranovic. Goossens amongst those loitering with a sense of menace inside the penalty area as Juranovic delivers and goes deep, and Mateus comes, gets a really good punch, only as far as Ayduni on the edge of the box. It's poked away by Al Musrati, but Braga unable to get themselves clear. Union Berlin's time to be on top in the game. Niakate with the clearance under pressure from inside the penalty area. Now Braga looking to break down the left-hand side. Bonza in a more central position can return it to Bruma. He's been closed down quickly by red shirts, and Bruma tries to come up with the most expansive of deliveries into the penalty area, and it sails behind for a goal kick as Ebo Ruiz is one of the 2 preparing to come on, so too Vitor Carvalho.
Yeah, I think that was an interesting break, because you were absolutely right, Stephen. They have been on top, Union, the last 4 or 5 minutes or so. But with that comes that risk, because you then allow Braga to hit on the counter. It's interesting they're taking Horta off. Hasn't really, apart from that, it sounds bizarre, but apart from the 2 goals, which he effectively set up, he hasn't been able to impose himself in the game as he normally would. But that shows the incredible quality of the man, that he's been on the periphery for most of the game. But without him, the 2 goals simply don't happen.
It's one of the great mysteries of football, isn't it? We will never solve it. Apart from when he was absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, what's he done?
He hasn't had one of his better games. You know, those are the high standards for which we set the players that we know are capable of the remarkable. Abel Ruiz for Alvaro de Jallo is the other change, so that might lead to a little bit of a reshuffle about the order in which the front 3 of Braga are playing. It's Union Berlin, though, the side currently.
Hello. Anybody home? Can you hear me? Can you see me? Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, good night, good whatever time it might be in your location. Thank you so much for stopping by. Thank you so much. And Champions League night. Wait. Yeah. Trying to fix everything on the screen. The Champions League night. So we're gonna be here for a little while. If you wanna call us, the link being provided. If you have time, of course. And if you don't have time, you can send a question or you can say something so we can discuss about football, all right? Football in general. So games are happening right now. Let me see. Yeah, games are happening right now. And then the second part of the games are gonna happen in like, let's say 27 minutes. So feel free to participate to the debate if you have time to do so, or ask questions. Hope you all doing good. And enjoying the Champions League. Even if your team is not playing the Champions League, you have to enjoy the Champions League. It's Champions League we're talking about here, you know. Fixing this camera here. Giving me some issues. Come on, behave. All right. Get also in the poll and let us know who's gonna win between Galatasaray and Manchester United, and also other teams. Yeah, said that the Champions League is happening without Chelsea. Okay, so this result was there like a minute ago. I think right now Braga equalized, and it's 2-2 between Union Berlin against Braga. And Salzburg are losing at home 2-0 to Sociedad. What is going on here? What is going on? Why are you losing at home? And this Union Berlin, I wanted them to win because this is going to give them some confidence. There is Datro Fofana in that team, so you want them to do good. But leading 2-0 and remontada 2-2 is not right. It's not the right thing to do. 25 minutes to go, my friend, and I will try to find you some news here. Thuram, number 9. This is the number that Lukaku was supposed to get, but he didn't sign for Inter de Milan. Milano. What will happen in Manchester? They know exactly why they asked that question. UEFA here. I don't want to read all the comments live because it might be some compromising pictures there. But don't sleep on Manchester United. They might just walk up out of the blue and beat Galatasaray. Galatasaray got a very good team. Hakim Ziyech, Zaha, Icardi, just to name a few. But last game they had hard time though. At home they almost lost the game. They were lucky because the opposition team got like a red card or 2 red cards. So before they drew that game 2-2, they were losing 2-0. So that tells you that defensively you can get on them and get something. So United, with fast players that they have, I think they can get the job done at Old Trafford. Let's go. These are early kickoffs. They are about to end. The early kickoffs are about to end because it started like earlier. So it's gonna end in about, let me see, 10 minutes. You know, everything plus the added time. I don't know how much time they're gonna get, but it's about to end. And then 15 minutes later, we have the Arsenal game, the Real Madrid, the Manchester United, Inter. Big games, big games. So get ready, get your coffee ready, get your water ready, and call us. Give your opinion about the games today. Drink some water. Okay. Ooh. Champions League is another competition in another level, telling you right now. Smash that like button, people. The more you like, the more people will join us, and the longer we're gonna stay here talking football. Okay? One click, 1 second. Let's do it. Yes, let's go. Let's do it. Wow. Tired. Been walking and walking for the entire day. Literally. Tete. Zaha is a different kind of guy now. Cut his dreadlocks. Got some normal hair. He's taking it seriously over there in Turkey. Eighth game for Harry Kane at Bayern Munich, and he already scored 9 goals and 4 assists. Wow. That is the same number, in the same range as people like Haaland. So Harry Kane is going to finish top scorer in the Bundesliga for sure. They allow him to get penalties and stuff, so should be fine. And can you imagine if Tottenham Hotspurs managed to win like a trophy this season? Everybody is gonna say, oh, that was like the curse from, or they say Harry Kane was cursed. Because of him, we couldn't win. Now he's gone, we are freed from evil. And we're gonna score. And we're gonna win. They're doing very, very good at the moment without Harry Kane. They work more as a group, as a team. Congratulations to them and Big Ange Postecoglou. So Tottenham are flying right now high. Very, very good team. Napoli against Real Madrid. What a game that is going to be. Then you have Osimhen. Victor Osimhen, Kvaksalia or Kvasalia. Vadona. The Georgian guy. I think we should just call him the Georgian guy, because his name is difficult to pronounce. So anyways, let me find just the lineups. Everybody knows about the lineup anyways. But just let me remind you what is happening here. I don't know. I'm supposed to be showing everything on the screen, but it's not showing. Oh man, I am a little bit lost. Let me see what I can do. You interact. That's why I was like, it doesn't seem that it's moving or anything. All right, that's me. So let's go to Champions League. So we are here, Champions League. So I was talking without anything on the screen. I don't know why. Okay. So this is not true. You have to check the normal result from the website. It's 2-2, I think, between Union Berlin and Braga. Get in the comment section down below, ask a question or call us using this link here. Wait. Yeah, using that link, you can join us live or just like the stream, because the more you like, the more people will join us. That's it. Do your homework, my brother and my sister. Homework. And where to watch the game. I don't know what TV station or online service that will show in your location. I don't know. Here you can watch on Paramount Plus. If you have DAZN at home, you can watch it clear. All right. The champion. Oh my goodness. Union Berlin just lost at home. Braga just scored. 90 minutes plus 4. Wow, what a shame. What a shame this is. This is crazy, man. They were leading 2-0, okay? So 30th minute, it was 1-0 to Union Berlin. 2-0 to them, 37 minutes. And then Braga scored 41 minutes. They scored another goal, 51 minutes. And then 90 minutes plus 4, bam, 3-1. What a comeback away, huh? Deserve, really. What a game that was. But you know what? I wanted Union Berlin to win because of that Fofana, even though he doesn't play a lot. He's on the bench and stuff, but it didn't happen. So if they didn't win today, I don't think they're gonna win any game in this campaign of the Champions League. Union Berlin. Last season they were flying. They were flying in the Bundesliga. They finished top 4. They qualified for the Champions League. Everything was rosy and nice. All right, 14 minutes to go, my people. Get ready, ask questions, call me, call us. Michael, Michelle. Mitchell, let's call you Mitchell. Nice to see you. Let me move to Mr. watching from Germany. Oh, hello there in Germany. What city? What city are you watching from? Skylar, let's go, bro. What's going on?
Yeah, man. I mean, it's not looking good, man, for United, especially for Ten Hag. I think, lots of people are turning on him, and I might just be one of them because, I'm a football fan first. I'm not a United fan first. I do love the game. I've played the game to a decent level, and when I come to watch my team, I expect them to play good football. Forget about the result.
Yeah.
I'm not one of these guys who rather have the result and not play good football. This is what I raised a couple of weeks ago on your show, and a few of your Chelsea fans got the ups for some reason, because there is no reason as a United manager that you should not be just getting the result but also entertain the fans. That's how it has been, under Ferguson, and after that. The last time I do remember United playing any kind of with identity was under Louis van Gaal, in 2014 to 2016. We used to keep the ball. And the only thing is that we didn't have a recognized striker. Van Persie was getting old, Falcao was injury prone, and we just bought Martial and Memphis. So the only reason, even in this since 2014 till now, one of my favorite goals is the one we scored against Southampton. Just go and watch the goal in 2014. We passed the ball 35 times and then we scored the goal. Even Schweinsteiger was involved. So we don't score those type of goals. Right now, what we are trying to play is this transition style of football where we try to pinch the ball high up the pitch and or we try to use Rashford pace from the deep. I watched Chelsea's first half yesterday, and I was thinking like this, like all this hoo-ha going around Chelsea that, Pochettino should go, or is this, that. I watched Chelsea move the ball with identity. I saw them move the ball with purpose. Only thing is that you guys probably didn't convert the chance, right? That's the biggest criticism against Chelsea. No one is complaining about creating chances for your club. I watched Enzo and Caicedo. For me, them two were, man of the match, and followed by Cole Palmer. I know the media gave it to Gallagher, but he was decent. But Cole Palmer, that guy is special, man. That guy is a special player. And Caicedo and Enzo, you can say they already struck a partnership. If you watch the reaction after the goal which Broja scored, and if you watch the reaction before, Caicedo starts that move, but if you see Enzo, he's pissed off that he didn't pass it to him. But obviously he passed it to Colwell, and Colwell puts a good cross in, and then that guy scores. So I can see what kind of a football Pochettino is trying to play, and you guys are moving the ball with purpose. Now you just watched today's Champions League game. I cannot tell you what we are going to play. Like who is going to do what. That's the big problem. And when you don't have that kind of identity, it's not going to work out for the long run. We might win a cup for one season, make it top 4. It is good. That's what we did under Mourinho and Oli. But if you have a style of play, just look at what Tottenham are doing. They might not win anything, but it will be sustainable for the longer run. And their only complaint will be we didn't win a trophy, right? So, obviously winning is everything, but what United are doing neither. We have 2 trophies in 6 years, 1 Premier League in 10 years.
Let's hope that today is the beginning of very good football, because I see the young Hannibal, that's his name, right?
Yeah, again, look, man, that guy is not good. This is the problem with United. We just hype up anyone coming from the academy. He just runs around and kicks people, and shows a bit of energy. If you remember Brandon Williams, do you remember that guy?
Yeah,
That guy came out of the academy and did the same thing. He scored a good goal against Sheffield.
Yeah.
And we were hyping him up, and we gave him 50 grand a week new contract. Now I don't think he's at the club anymore. So
yeah.
Look, today, like Anthony is back in the team. Despite the ongoing investigation, and there is no sign of, the whole media, if you watched his press conference, they were asking about only one player, that is Rashford. What's going on with him? You gave him a new 350k contract, but this guy is, what is it, like 4 goals in 20 games? What's going on? He's supposed to be the Mbappe of your team, but he keeps getting chances. Why is Garnacho not playing?
Yeah.
So, man, look, I'm really close to being Ten Hag out, because for me, I've seen enough, man. I don't think you can start playing football in middle of the season. That thing starts with pre-season. You have to build, you have to coach. You can't just go into a season and, hope to pick up a style of play. That's not how football works, right?
Yeah. Or probably because of injuries that you have. Kind of difficult, because look at this guy, Amrabat is playing from the left-hand side. He's like a left back.
Yeah, that's another excuse. See, the manager said that we don't have a left back, so that's why we are not able to, whatever. But you didn't complain about the left back when you beat Crystal Palace in the cup. What happened there? So that's my problem. Every time you ask anything to the manager, he says that we don't follow principles, we don't follow the rules. That's what you are in there for. You are supposed to make sure the players follow the rules. I want to refer back to your games against Fulham. The first half, I didn't watch the second half, so I don't know what happened. But the first half, Mudryk got his goal. That's good. But I can see some patterns, man. I'm seeing patterns being taking place. Yeah. I'm seeing like this Cole Palmer guy. He has been given the responsibility to create, and Gallagher is staying. Enzo is getting more freedom because he's playing behind Gallagher and Caicedo. So I can see you guys, working something in the training. It's just that you guys are not finishing, right?
Yeah.
And what is it, Pochettino? Pochettino has been at the club for 3 months now.
Yeah.
And there is a significant style of play. And let's not forget, you've got Lavia coming in. You got Reece James, Nkunku. I can't even begin to list the players you still have. We don't have that. Don't get it wrong. We don't have anyone coming back. Everyone has either come back or got injured. Luke Shaw has played. He has played for the team. He's got injured. So that's another issue. Reguilon has been injured. He's played for the team. And who's that? Licha Martinez. He's played for the team. He's playing with a broken foot. So we don't have that situation which you guys are in. Players coming back so the team improves. We don't find. Højlund is fit. Martial is fit. So why we don't have any kind of style of play? So, look, man, it's not looking good.
Yeah, I hope you win today, because Galatasaray got also some good players like Hakim Ziyech. Yeah. They have Icardi. They have Zaha. Yeah, so
they got Torreira in the midfield.
But I predicted in my prediction video, I said United to win at home. Really, today, how Old Trafford are gonna go attack, go for it. So today I see you winning, but not like a big win. It's gonna be like a small margin, like 2-1. Well, that's you get 3 points and you keep building, because there's nothing. I don't think right now they're gonna sack the manager, the Glazers. It's gonna be they're gonna.
Yeah, they don't care about sacking and all that. I don't think they even care about what happens on the pitch. As long as the club is making them money without them putting any kind of investment in it, they are cool with it. All this sacking and firing players and managers, that's on Richard Arnold and John Murtough. Those are not the decision this guy makes. The Glazers don't make that decision. At Chelsea, you can expect Todd Boehly to be involved in some kind of hiring and firing. Certainly Abramovich was there for that kind of purpose. He had a special meeting when he was supposed to fire Lampard, and he came into the room because he was a Chelsea legend.
Yeah.
At United, that's not the case, So, look, I think Ten Hag will get a long run, because this guy, Richard Arnold, he's a big fan of Ten Hag, and he has already said that he understands the situation, injuries and all that. But those are all, those are. I mean, you cannot trust this guy Richard Arnold because he's not a footballing man. He's from a CA background. He's a chartered accountant. So
he's
I am not going to take it.
Another banker.
Yeah, he's a banker. Same goes for John Motter. These guys went to the same university. I mean, it's in West London or something. I don't remember the name of that university, but yeah, all these are, they are a big mob. So I'm not going to take their word for anything because they don't really know anything about football. I mean, these guys are the same who went to Barcelona to buy Frankie de Jong and came empty-handed.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you can't trust them guys. But yeah, man, look, let's go back to the Chelsea game. I really enjoyed the first half. I mean, the goal was a bit fortunate for Broja. I mean, that defender of Fulham.
He needed that kind of chance because he missed actually a sitter. He created himself
in the first minute.
In the first minute, but he scored a goal that we didn't expect him to score. So it's good for his confidence, the guy.
Yeah. And I don't know what commentary you were getting at your place, but we were getting the Premier League feed, and this guy, if you remember, Andros Townsend, that guy who used to play for Palace, Everton, and Tottenham, he was on commentary, and obviously he played for Pochettino. So he was giving some really good insights about Pochettino. He was saying that, Poch is that kind of a manager. He will select a player and give him that particular player a long run before he takes him out.
Yeah.
So he's not going to just chop and change. So I don't know if you followed that pattern at the club, because he said that yesterday that 8 players out of the starting 11 have been playing regularly. Like, is that true?
Yeah, because of injuries. Like we don't play the same starting 11 every single game. It's gonna be, this lineup, and then you got 2 more injuries, and then. But I also heard that he's very consistent on giving people a chance, a long run, just to see.
Yeah.
But Raheem Sterling, he kind of gave him, the games that we were losing, almost every single game, and he benched him last time because it's for the last 2 games, I think, because you can tell the guy is just like he's not motivated on the pitch anymore. Looks like he's gaining weight again. He went back to the Raheem Sterling that we had last season. So I think he's right to bench him. And Mikhailo Modric is doing good at the moment. Scored his first goal.
He has a good relationship with the manager as well. I heard that they were doing some cross-bar training games, him and Pochettino. Yeah. And with Sterling, this guy is an experienced guy. He has that ego in him that, I played under Pep. We beat your Tottenham when we went to the Champions League final and lost to City. So he will have that kind of ego in him because he's not like a young player like Cole Palmer. But Cole Palmer and I saw Cucurella playing right back. They did well, defensively against Willian and one of the most attacked fullbacks, in that Fulham left back, Robinson. He's from America, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's really athletic. So they did well, but. Yeah, man, I think this guy he's a very special player, Cole Palmer. I hope to see him not on the wings, but probably playing number 10. Maybe Nkunku could go on the right because he's got some really silky feet. I mean, this guy was picking passes for fun. So, and he's played under Pep, so he knows that system. Yeah. And he knows how to work off the ball. It's just not on the ball. So, yeah, man, I mean, look, if you put Lavia in this team and Nkunku in this team, Reece James come back, probably Fofana, Paddy Shield, he's going to offer you good balance with that left foot. And you Ben Chilwell as well. So, look, I mean, on paper, I think Chelsea have the best, 11 and squad depth in the entire world, in my opinion, because no one has that kind of players,
Yeah, if we add like a proper number 9, it's going to be complete. Broja is there, but we don't know how good or bad he's going to perform. He got a goal, but let's see what's going to happen in long range.
You guys are tracking Ivan Toney, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah, that's what I heard. Ivan Toney actually scored today behind the...
Yeah, he's on the pitch,
behind the closed door or whatever game it was. So, yeah, nice to see him score.
I mean, Brentford and Chelsea is not that far. They're very close. So if you pay them like 50-60 million, I mean, that's peanuts for Chelsea. You can get them,
Yeah, let's wait and see what's going to happen. So, Herbert, thank you so much for helping. I think it's 20 seconds until the game starts.
I'm going to watch the game. It's going to start anyways.
You come back probably as halftime or the end of the game. Thank you. So
catch you later.
Thank you. Thanks, brother. Thank you so much. Wow. That was a very good insight from somebody who knows Manchester United, and it's always good. So, people, listen, I am going to to do the voiceover and commentary, I think it's more beneficial for more people than miss being here. I'll be here if people are calling and people are interacting. But I think people just wanna hear something. Mr. Tragic TV, brother, I was looking for you. Like that's last time I told you like to give me your email or social media because something was happening in Morocco and I try everything.
Bro, I'm so
what
sorry,
is happening? Like you have to give people news. I know you live there. Is your family all right?
Yeah, everyone is all right. Thank God, everyone is all right. Because most of my family live north of Morocco. Didn't affect north of Morocco that bad. Like no broken buildings.
Yeah, man. So nice to see you back here, bro. I was already like leaving and like come back like it's halftime, but nice to see you.
Okay.
What do you think? Give me your quick kind of what is called again? Like score prediction. Real Madrid against Napoli. What do you think about that game?
I think it's going to be a tie. It's going to be hard versus Napoli at their stadium. At the Maradona Stadium, it's going to be hard, so I think it's going to be a tie.
A tie like 1-1 or 2-2 or something?
Yeah, 1-1, 2-2, maybe even 0-0.
Yeah.
So I think it's going to be a tie, and for the United game, I think United are going to win 2-1 versus Galatasaray.
Yeah, that's what I said. I say that exactly.
Oh, you said that? Oh,
yeah,
okay.
I predicted that they're going to win 2-1. What do you think about Arsenal against Lens?
I think that's an easy one for Arsenal. Yeah, I don't really see them losing that game. I think like 3-1.
Okay, 3-1. Yeah. Inter against Benfica.
Inter versus Benfica. That'll be a close game, but I'll say 4-3. I think that'll be a high-scoring game.
4-3 to Inter, right?
To Inter, yeah.
And we have Copenhagen against Bayern Munich.
Copenhagen versus Bayern Munich. Yes, I think. I think that'll be like.
I predicted like Bayern is gonna win away. Yeah, I don't see Bayern losing this game, honestly.
No, they're too good right now. Yeah, so I think 4-2 to Bayern.
4-2, and the last game is gonna be PSV against Sevilla.
I think that's going to be a tie as well. That'll be like 2-2.
2-2
Sevilla
draw,
are not that good right now, to be fair. PSV are good,
that sounds like about right.
Yeah.
All right. That's great. Listen, my brother, I'm gonna come back only at halftime and at the end because I wanna put like audio commentary. I have something with people here. A lot of people watching. Like the Champions League night, a lot of drunk people. I don't drink, but they always bring a lot of drinks. So I'm gonna watch the game. I'm gonna watch games with them, have a little bit of banter with Arsenal fans, and then come back only at halftime. I don't wanna get them involved on YouTube, so yeah.
Yeah, all right, brother. Sorry about the hiatus. I'm really sorry.
Man, we have to keep stay in touch, bro. You know, social media now, it's just,
what's your Instagram? What's your Instagram?
It's the same, Green Turf, one word, Green Turf. You're going to see the same logo, the same everything. You follow me there, I'll follow you back, and then we have to keep in touch.
Yes, of course. Okay, sounds good. Yeah, I'll look you up.
Thank you so much, bro.
All right, I'll talk to you later.
All right, thanks. People, I'm going to put audio commentary and come back at some point because I have people over that are watching the game in the living room. So I have to go there and join them and watch the game, analyze the game, and they come here, talk if people want me to be here because I'm here for the people, all right? So let me go and see. What can we do now? Sociedad. We don't need Sociedad now. Marcus Rashford is going to score today, in my opinion.
during the pandemic, Coppa Italia, and then Spalletti came and he did something amazing. I mean, and I think that following the steps of Spalletti is really the impossible job, but Rudy Garcia was very brave to take it, and I think that Napoli this season are going to be competitive again. I repeat, I think that the team is little by little improving in their numbers. The statistics in Serie A are very similar to last seasons. I mean, they are the first in shots, Napoli, and they are the second team in goals scored as well, so the quality is still there.
That's a beautiful turn by Zielinski, driving through midfield. Osimhen will take over. Now the ball moved towards Politano on the right side of the penalty area. Down the line it goes, little dink across, but the defender is in the way. They've still not managed to clear this Real Madrid, but they do now. It's a super header by Antonio Rudiger, who was a doubt for this game, but is fit and does start. David Alaba didn't make it. That's a strike by Politano from a long, long way out. And comfortable for Kepa, who of course is the custodian for Real Madrid these days, with Thibaut Courtois and Eder Militao out until next season. Remember, Arda Güler also out for this game, and as Alvaro was mentioning, there's no Juan Jesus or Amir Rahmani at the heart of the Napoli defence, so Nathan makes his first start in the Champions League, and Leo Ostigard is alongside him. Significant as well, perhaps Matheus Oliveira is preferred at left back to Mario Ru, but they tend to rotate those two anyway, don't they? It seems to be the way that they do things.
And I think that Oliveira has been very competitive every time he's been on the pitch. I want to see how these two centre-backs marry up, Ostigard and Nathan. As you said, that's going to be interesting because Nathan, for example, is having his first ever start in the Champions League to start with.
And they don't actually have anyone to pick up tonight as the ball goes forward towards Osimhen down the right-hand side there. The challenge is a good one by Nacho, wearing the armband for Real Madrid. Bellingham isn't playing as a centre-forward. Rodrigo and Vini will come in up. Vini Jr. will come in off the flanks, but on the whole, there is no actual centre forward in this Real Madrid side.
No, because Joselu is a plan A sometimes, but he wasn't today. I think that he's going to be a plan B. And,
done really well, hasn't he, Joselu, this season so far? What a start to the season.
Absolutely, 4 goals in the league, but not only that, against Union Berlin, suddenly he gave all the Real Madrid midfielders another target to pass the ball to, and that was very important in that game, because without Joselu, I think Real Madrid wouldn't have beaten Union Berlin.
Well, it's Bellingham just inside the Napoli half in the centre of the field, who finds Camavinga out left-hand side. Vinicius Junior took over. He's trying to play a little wall pass back towards Camavinga on the left-hand side. It was intercepted, and now an interception from Kvaratskhelia, and he's on halfway and moving forward, and he exchanges a little 1-2 with Zielinski. Zielinski takes over once again, a little step over from him, and a little twist and turn. Oliveira makes a break forward, but a good cut out. They are working hard. It was Rodrigo who was all the way back there to help out, and here they come again now, driving down the right-hand side with Bellingham on towards Rodrigo, who bursts inside the penalty area. What a run that is! Saved brilliantly by the goalkeeper. Away to his right-hand side to palm the ball away. Rodrigo showing electrifying pace to run away from Oliveira inside the penalty area, and his shot really well saved by the goalkeeper. Could have been 1-0. 6 minutes gone. Napoli 0, Real Madrid 0 on Matchday Live. The ball with Vinicius Junior on the left-hand side now, who twists one way, turns the other, and crosses, looking towards Bellingham in the middle, and then coming through in the middle of the penalty area with a flying header was Aurelien Tchouameni, but it goes wide. And let's hear from Chris.
Yeah, early exchanges at Old Trafford. Rob Daly is watching.
Yeah, bright start for Manchester United, Chris. Best chance so far came inside the opening 90 seconds. Rasmus Højlund, brilliant run down the left side, held off a defender, cut it back to the penalty spot, and Bruno Fernandes, first time finish, skewed the effort. Had it not been his first touch of the game, you'd back it to score. United 0, Galatasaray 0.
Goals as they go in from Rob all evening. It finished earlier. Union Berlin 2, Braga 3, and Salzburg 0, Real Sociedad 2. But we are still awaiting our first goal of the night in the 6 late games, including our commentary match, Napoli against Real Madrid.
Politano has just been fouled by Toni Kroos. We've just seen a replay of that chance for Rodrigo. By the way, the pace was absolutely something else. What he did as he just looked the shot, Oliveira just put a bit of pressure on him, didn't he? And he was just a little off balance, and he couldn't get the power, or he couldn't keep it low or go high. And it was a pretty comfortable save in the end.
Yes, it was. I think that Rodrigo's pace is the thing that was more remarkable from that attacking sequence of Real Madrid. And I will say as well that I have the feeling that the ball stayed a little bit or didn't run with Rodrigo very much. I think maybe the pitch is a little bit dry and in some places, and that hasn't helped Rodrigo. But anyway, great chance, and also Meret at the end of the day, he just saved it because he had to, and he did, he showed his goalkeeping quality as well. Good chance for Real Madrid.
Well, Frank Zambo Anguissa has been caught in possession there, but he worked really hard and got a little bit of help from Ostigard to get the ball away. But you saw the hustling of this new look Real Madrid midfield with Tchouaméni and Bellingham working so hard to win the ball. Kroos, of course, a permanent fixture, it seems, in there. Modric on the bench tonight, of course, with Valverde over on the right side of the three. But it's almost like a diamond, isn't it, that they play through that midfield. There's a miscue there which will be tidied up in the end. Just for a moment there was a sloppy touch by Tchouaméni, but he gets away with it.
Yeah, that's what they call it in Spain these days, el diamante from midfield, the diamond. And yeah, it is one of them. Jude Bellingham wears the number 5. He's been compared with Zidane because Zidane wore that number as well as Fernando Redondo. But in the comparison, probably Jude Bellingham looks more similar in the way he plays to another Real Madrid legend like Alfredo Di Stéfano, who was a proper box-to-box player.
I'll give you a quiz question in a minute, but first here come Real Madrid again with Rodrigo, who gets a shot away and it's deflected behind by Nathan for a corner to Real Madrid. Name me a number 5 who played up front who's won the UEFA Champions League.
Wow.
There's a quiz question. I'll give you the answer in a moment. First, we've got a corner to Real Madrid. Over on the right-hand side, Toni Kroos will take. You've got to dig deep into your memories. Toni Kroos, right-footed. It will be an away swinger. There are 5 in the penalty area waiting to move now. They all jostle for position. It's towards Tchouaméni. Nacho, it actually came down and it hit his knee, who's then appealing towards the referee. Maybe just got a deflection on the way through, but as it is, the ball's out of play, and it will be another Real Madrid corner over on the right-hand side. Again, Toni Kroos is there. Again, the same 5 wait for the delivery. Tchouaméni is there, Rudiger is there, Bellingham is there, Nacho is there, along, of course, with Vinicius Junior. Kroos with the corner, headed up in the air by Osimhen, not actually away. Antonio Rudiger puts it forward again, then Rudiger again, and Nacho, and Bellingham! Left-footed shot just wide on the volley, took a deflection. You can't blink when this fella's around the ball. Such an instinctive volley, and it was going in as well, but for a brilliant block from Oliveira. Caught it a treat, didn't he?
The most important thing about all this is the ability to create danger of Jude Bellingham. He spots the opportunity and he takes it as well. It was, I believe that was a proper shot on target. Oliveira did a great job just tackling that.
Yeah, really good block by Oliveira. Another corner here, this time from the left-hand side. Right-footed in-swinger by Toni Kroos. The header is up and over the top. He got a good look at that, a good run at that, did Aurelien Tchouaméni, but he just couldn't quite keep the header down. He might be a little disappointed there.
Yeah, because he arrived there before anyone else. I think that it was a good chance for Aurelien Tchouaméni, a player who has also the capacity to score for Real Madrid from the long range. Is very good. His shot is fantastic. And yeah, Real Madrid has started the game very well, I would say. Maybe Osimhen is the player that Napoli has to activate a little bit more, play the ball on him, but it's not easy so far.
Osimhen, the man in the mask. He's sprung to prominence in this Napoli side, hasn't he? There's so many goals and so much that he does for this team. There's a foul here by Kvaratskhelia on Carvajal. Oh, but the other way around, Carvajal on Kvaratskhelia. This was highlighted before the game as potentially the battle. If Kvaratskhelia can get the better of Dani Carvajal, it could help Napoli. And there he is again, trying to run around the fullback. Zielinski will take over. Back towards Kvaratskhelia. Bursts into the penalty, twisting, turning, trying to head towards the byline now. Held up by Carvajal really, really well. And then takes a tumble, and he managed to keep the ball, and Oliveira wins it, but Bellingham's won it back for Real Madrid. And off they go downfield now with Rodrigo. What a challenge that is by Frank Zambo Anguissa, who wins the ball back in the Real Madrid half. There's a really good intensity about this game. There's a really good tempo about this game. 12 minutes gone in Naples. Napoli 0, Real Madrid 0 on Champions League Matchday Live. Ostigard inside his own half, centre of the field, midway between the edge of his own penalty area and the base of the centre circle. Now Oliveira on the left-hand side. Inside is Lobotka. What a job he does for this Napoli side. Perhaps the most unheralded and unsung member of this team.
And very well known in La Liga too, because he played for Celta. He played very well in there.
It was a good find when they took him from there. Here they come again with Politano down the right-hand side, who tries to break away from one. It breaks nicely for Osimhen, who shoots. And Antonio Rudiger was all over him like the proverbial rash, not giving him a moment to get the shot away. Good block, throw in.
Yeah, but little times for rhetorics in Real Madrid and Napoli. Every time they spot the chance to shoot, they do it. Jude Bellingham has done it. Osimhen from a difficult position has done it as well. They really want to test the goalkeepers, because we haven't seen a proper save for anybody except that one from Meret to Rodrigo. But, you know, we still don't know if Kepa is having a good day or a bad day, so why not to test him?
First goal of the night in the late fixtures. It comes in France. Gabriel Jesus for Arsenal, who was so good on their return to the group stage 2 weeks ago in dismantling PSV at home. Well, now they have a goal on the road, and it is their Brazilian centre-forward, Lens, caught trying to play the ball out from the back. Bukayo Saka slipped it into Gabriel Jesus, who scored a fine effort beyond Brice Samba. So Lens 0, Arsenal 1. Remember, earlier it finished Union Berlin 2, Braga 3, and Salzburg 0, Real Sociedad 2.
And here it's 0-0 between Napoli and Real Madrid in what's been a really bright start to this game. We are approaching the 14-minute mark. Real Madrid have had, you'd class it as maybe a quarter chance, the Bellingham volley, not even a half chance, but it was on target. Might have squeezed in at the near post. And then, of course, we had the header from Tchouameni, which was over the top.
And that one from Rodrigo as well.
Yes, of course.
It was a decent chance too. But yeah, I think Real Madrid is at least creating the chances, either on open play, set pieces as well. And Napoli is so far best way of attacking is stealing the ball or getting it close to Real Madrid's third or box. But when the pressure doesn't work, Real Madrid is playing comfortably.
When we get a breaking play, we'll ask Alvaro where Real Madrid are at right now, because the start of the season has been eventful, shall we say. They're on the charge here with Camavinga, moving forward from left back. He's up to the edge of the penalty area, helps it out towards the left-hand side. Rodrigo's come to this left-hand side now and pulls the ball back to Toni Kroos. Kroos with his right foot drifts it towards the far post. Carvajal looks up, controls it on the goal line, tries to pull it back where he was looking for a black shirt. Rodrigo with the overhead kick, and out of play for a corner. They're getting bodies around the ball on Napoli there, and that's exactly what they needed to do.
Good chance for Real Madrid, I would say, with the great movement, the pass to Carvajal. Carvajal controlled the ball. Was he offside? We still don't know. It looks like he's on the line. Yeah, he's fine, he's onside. And then he controlled the ball, and he sent a cross twice into the box, but no one could capitalize. And at the end, well, it's ball for Napoli.
The ball is played forward up towards Osimhen. Rudiger relishes any sort of challenge like that and wins it in the air and heads the ball away. Kvaratskhelia looks at taking a quick throw, but will leave it for Oliveira, who finds Lobotka just to the left of the centre circle. Now Anguissa a little bit further to his right, and over to Di Lorenzo on the right-hand side, and Giovanni Di Lorenzo moves the ball on towards Anguissa again. This is Lobotka moving the ball through midfield, keeping possession of the ball, Napoli. Now back to Østigård, now Nathan, the man who's come in tonight for his Champions League debut, with all the injuries affecting them at the heart of the defence. Juan Jesus and Amir Rahmani, both ruled out, remember. Both of whom you'd expect to be out there on a night like this. Nathan comes again. The run is made by Oliveira down the left-hand side. Dani Carvajal, he's trying to get there and he's trying to prevent the corner. And it's going to just spin away off the outside of his boot as he tried to turn on the byline, and it does spin out just for a corner.
But how important it is that the player chases the ball, because the pass on Oliveira wasn't perfect, but still he presses on Carvajal and he manages to get this corner for Napoli.
Well, Napoli's corner on the right-hand side, it will be a right-footed in-swinger. They themselves send 6 into the penalty area, although Politano waits right at the edge and the corner is right at the near post, and Carvajal heads it away. Oliveira, Kvaratskhelia away by Camavinga, and then Lobotka will go to win the ball back, and Osimhen actually gets in his way, and we'll get a free kick for Napoli midway inside the Real Madrid half. He was pulled down.
Deadlock has been broken at Old Trafford.
Cardi can't keep hold of it near the Manchester United penalty area. Casemiro over the top. Rashford wide right here for United. In on goal, Rashford cuts it across. Brilliant goal from Manchester United. Højlund with the header. 17 minutes on the clock. And it is breakthrough at Old Trafford for Manchester United. Ball into the right-hand channel. Rashford broke. Fist in across. And Højlund heads in. His first goal at Old Trafford. Manchester United 1, Galatasaray 0.
Swift and incisive from United, who lead by 1-0. Commentary there from Rob Daly. Still goalless in Naples between Napoli and Real Madrid.
18 minutes gone. Politano with the free kick in towards Anguissa. It's going to come out towards Kvaratskhelia, who turns one way and then twists to go the other, and runs in and finds Oliveira to the goal line, who tried to stab it across goal where Osimhen was waiting for a tap-in. Vital touch by the man who saw the danger. It was Rudiger.
An excellent movement by Kvaratskhelia as well. We have seen that he has regained the confidence, and I think that he's been so far one of the most dangerous men in Napoli.
Well, Kvaratskhelia will take the corner himself. Another right-footed in-swinger. Goalkeeper is coming. He doesn't get there. It's off the crossbar and it's in there. It's a super header to make it his, and it's a fine Napoli goal that is scored by Leo Ostigard. He wanted the ball more than anyone else as it came off the crossbar. He made it his. Napoli 1, Real Madrid 0.
What an excellent goal by Ostigard, because he attacked that ball with all the violence needed to score this goal for Napoli. Excellent, first of all, because there was this header that hit the post, hit the crossbar by Nathan, and then we saw Ostigard right after that. He was waiting for it. He jumped more than anybody else. He jumped more than Carvajal, who was the player who was next to him, marking him. And yeah, it's the first goal for Napoli. The ball entered the net, entered the goal with such a violence that it almost broke the net. Incredible header, beautiful goal, 1-0 for Napoli.
He got a goal last season against Rangers in this competition, but the 23-year-old Norwegian has shaken the foundations of this famous old stadium and put them one up against Real Madrid. Euphoria abounds in Naples.
Second goal of the season for him, one in the Serie A and one in the Champions League.
Well, he was impressive at youth level, wasn't he, at Mulder? We saw him in the UEFA Youth League as a very talented teenager, and now stepping up, and he's becoming a fixture.
He certainly is. We heard that Manchester United were 1-0 up. Rob Daly, how have Galatasaray responded to that early United goal?
Can't quite get into the game at the moment, Chris. Manchester United thoroughly deserve their lead, and Rasmus Højlund's been the standout player. He's had 3 breakthrough moments where he's looked really dangerous, but what a header. The ball was really fist across on the half volley from Rashford, and Højlund thumps it in with his forehead. It's a really good goal. There was a VAR check for offside, but Rashford was on in the build-up. United deserve it. 22 minutes gone, and they lead Galatasaray 1-0.
Great start for them. Arsenal, the other English Premier League side in action this evening, 1-0 up away at Lens. It's Copenhagen 0, Bayern 0. It's Inter 0, Benfica 0, and it's PSV 0, Sevilla 0. Although Noah Lang has just gone close to the opener for the team from Eindhoven. A reminder earlier, Braga came from 2-0 down to beat Union Berlin with basically the last kick of the game, and Salzburg were beaten at home 2-0 by Real Sociedad. Tell us where in the world you are listening. Use the hashtag #MatchDayLive. And continue to enjoy this. We're on air for another 2 hours and a bit, and we're bringing the goals as they go in from every single Champions League encounter tonight. One for Napoli, and John Bradley, the Italian side, look really good.
Yes, they do, and it was a really good goal. The concession of the goal will probably annoy the fact that Real Madrid were caught out from a set piece. They take pride in the way they defend set pieces and things like that, but the way Ostigard just wanted the ball more than anybody else. I mean, even had 2 or 3 Real Madrid players actually jumped and gone, he would have just taken everybody out, wasn't he? It was so, I mean, in a fair way, but it was so physical the way that he, and aggressive the way he addressed the ball.
It was like a train coming out of a tunnel, like a big vehicle just breaking out on the road. Really, it was unbelievable. I really liked the way he had the ball, and Carvajal, who was next to him, really had no chance because he was looking at the goal more than at the ball, and Ostergaard came from out of nowhere really and scored this goal. Beautiful one. Now we'll see how Real Madrid responds as well, because at the end of the day, it's very natural that when a team loses, we think that they should put a number 9 on the pitch. Well, let's see how long it takes before Joselu starts warming up.
Well, we've not seen much of Vinicius Junior there, but he's had a little burst down the left-hand side. Now the ball is switched towards the right-hand side, and Carvajal, his attempt to cross the ball was blocked by Oliveira.
The thing with Vini is that he's just back from an injury. He started against Girona the other day. By the way, Girona was topping the table of La Liga until Real Madrid beat them, so it was an important start for Vinicius and an important victory for Real Madrid. But obviously, maybe Vinicius is 99% today, but not 100%.
What a start to the season for Girona. Of course, when Real Madrid lost the Madrid derby, they went to the top of La Liga, and then of course faced Real Madrid and found them maybe angry a week later, and we're on the receiving end.
And especially after losing the Madrid derby, I think Real Madrid wanted to prove a point too. So yeah, a good win for them.
Yeah, definitely. I do want to get your views on that in a moment. We'll watch this Real Madrid attack first, because they have the ball over on the right-hand side with Valverde, and now Toni Kroos will take over, and he drives the ball out wide right to Carvajal, who crosses into the middle, and Nathan actually could have let it run through to his goalkeeper. Took the safety first option, puts it behind. We will have a corner in a moment for Real Madrid, who are trying to get back into this game, trailing by 1-0. Remember, they've needed so many late goals to get results so far this season. They've lost the Madrid derby as well. This is a real test of character for them. Trailing in Naples, Kroos with the corner, Tchouameni with the jump. It's brought away by Anguissa, who turns away from the challenge of Rodrigo beautifully, and then finds Kvaratskhelia, who will move up towards halfway, plays it inside, but might have just mistaken the referee for a teammate there, because the pass went straight to the referee rather than to a blue shirt. The ball goes out to the left-hand side, and it's taken over by Vinicius Junior again. Corner of the box, held up beautifully by Di Lorenzo. Such great experience, such a staple part of this Napoli side. That was a wonderful bit of defending by Giovanni Di Lorenzo, the captain of Napoli. And they have the ball now just by the centre circle. Piotr Zielinski moves it out towards that left-hand side. Now Zielinski again, out further it goes left-hand side. Zielinski twisting, turning, little step over, drives it up towards Osimhen, who controls on his chest, finds the pole again. He's going to shoot left-footed. It's taken a deflection, and it's just gone wide of the target. Kepa probably had it covered, but just for a moment the goalkeeper was nervous.
Cracking game, and it's similar in northern France as well, because Lens have equalised against Arsenal. A quite brilliant finish from the edge of the penalty area from Adrien Thomasson, I think, got the shot in, and having trailed to Gabriel Jesus' excellent strike, they have one of their own. Great atmosphere there, great game, 1-1.
Atmosphere great there, atmosphere incredible here. Listen to that noise. Napoli 1, Real Madrid 0, and they have a corner which Politano takes left-footed now across the near post, and Di Lorenzo trying to flash the ball home, and the defender got in front, and it was Nacho who got it away. We'll try again. Second corner in quick succession. Politano, 2 paces away from the ball, will step up and hit it left-footed. It will be an in-swinger. Again, lots of movement inside the box. He's gone short to the corner of the box. Politano crosses very deep. It's very high as well. And Nacho with the header, and the ball ends up behind. It's going to be a goal kick.
Second goal at Old Trafford. Which way has it gone?
Sanchez, high ball forward for Galatasaray, trying to go over the top of United. Zaha putting pressure on Dalot. Zaha! Has he scored? Yes, he has! Wilfried Zaha back at Old Trafford, back in England against his former club. A sucker punch from Galatasaray. And Wilfried Zaha was strong and stable to steer it into the net. United 1, Galatasaray 1.
Here's Bellingham on towards Vinicius Junior. Goal! Napoli pay the price for giving the ball away on the edge of their own penalty area. Jude Bellingham, so often the scorer so far this season, turns provider. It is the coolest finish from Vinicius Junior. He rolls it across the goalkeeper into the corner of the net from a tight angle. Napoli 1, Real Madrid 1.
Yes, because Napoli lost the ball in defense. It was Di Lorenzo who gave it away to Jude Bellingham, and Bellingham very generously passed the ball to Vinicius, and Vinicius had a very cool finish, by the way, because he scored from a very acute angle, and yeah, Real Madrid is back in the game, 1-1.
From Manchester to Naples, goals as they go in here on UEFA Champions League Match Day Live. And what a start to the late kickoffs we have had. 1-1 Napoli Real Madrid, 1-1 Manchester United Galatasaray, 0-0 Inter Benfica, 0-0 PSV Sevilla, 1-1 Lens Arsenal, and 0-0 Copenhagen Bayern.
Where the ball goes in, it's the only place the ball can go in. He's running diagonally in towards the goal from the left-hand side. He's getting towards the about 4 or 5 meters out. The goalkeeper's narrowed the angle. There is the tiniest of spaces just inside the post where the net meets the post. And if he puts it there, he scores. He put it there. He just stroked it side-footed. It was such a beautiful finish from a player who's become so accomplished.
And we cannot forget that Vinicius, at the time, or at the beginning, when he started playing for Real Madrid, was regarded as a very good winger who actually still needed to work on his finish. And
he was a little wild, wasn't he?
Well, the numbers prove it. Yeah, I mean, he was raw talent, obviously. He had the wilderness to attack you, to take you on. He had all that, but still he didn't score many goals. And in his first La Liga 3 seasons, altogether, he scored 7 goals. And suddenly, the 21-22 seasons, he scored 17. And from that point onwards, he has become a really good goal scorer.
It is worth saying as well, these players set standards that they have to achieve and reach if they want to be successful at Real Madrid.
Oh, yeah.
If they want to be successful in their career. And nobody has worked harder at developing his game in football than Vinicius Junior to become an elite level performer now, so respected by everyone across world football, such an outstanding talent. That for him, a pretty simple finish. Jude Bellingham, as we say, so often the scorer this season, very unselfish in turning provider for the Brazilian there, and it's 1-1. A little bit of a gift, you may say, from Napoli, but they will perhaps say that Real Madrid gave them a bit of a gift at the other end when the goalkeeper couldn't claim the corner. Camavinga has the ball left-footed, driving through the centre circle. Bellingham takes over, skips away from Anguissa as though he wasn't there. That was beautiful skill from Bellingham, but then he's passed to Camavinga a fraction short, and the ball from Di Lorenzo back to his goalkeeper Mere to get the ball away. Camavinga's won it back, and Camavinga's kept the ball in play, and Real Madrid are building up ahead of steam here. We've nearly reached the half-hour mark in Naples. It's Napoli 1, Real Madrid 1 on Matchday Live. Now Toni Kroos to the right-hand side. Level with the edge of the penalty area is Dani Carvajal. Tchouameni, now Toni Kroos in the centre. They rotate so beautifully to the 3 midfielders across midfield. Lovely turn by Vinicius Junior up to the edge of the box, skips away from another challenge, and this time his right-footed shot is always rising and going over, but it's rising and going over because it got a touch off the defender.
It's a corner, and Vinicius again, he hasn't received the ball not far from the opponent's box. He left behind Lobotka, and then his shot didn't go on target, but at least it's a corner for them. What I like about all this is the confidence of Vinicius just to turn back with the ball and produce something.
Toni Kroos with the corner, right-footed in-swinger, drives it very deep all the way towards the back of the penalty area with Valverde. Wins the ball, tries to cross once, takes a block, and then Valverde tries to stab the ball across when he receives it back, and again Anguissa manages to get in the way, and Kvaratskhelia tries to bring it away and drives downfield, runs away from 1 challenge, runs away from 2 challenges, up towards Osimhen, but can't quite squeeze it forward. You could see there, though, the threat and the fear, yeah, let's call it fear, of what Real Madrid have when Kvaratskhelia gets on the ball and wants to lead a counter charge, a counter thrust. 5 players ran to him with the ball. It was astonishing to see.
Yeah, and we have seen this weekend as well how he left behind Ramadani in one of the goals that Napoli scored against Lecce. But I will say that Osimhen and Kvaratskhelia, maybe they have to play a little bit closer together, because we have seen this game as well, that Kvaratskhelia was sending the pass to Osimhen and he was too far to get it. So they have to adjust exactly what the distance has to be between them both in this game. Obviously, Osimhen wants the ball in the box, but Kvaratskhelia was still very far from there.
Tchouaméni on towards Nacho. Now Toni Kroos will take over once again. Camavinga on the left-hand side, playing left-back. Remember Camavinga in this Real Madrid side now. Remember David Alaba's not available as well for this game. He's one of a number of players they have out, including Eder Militao and, of course, Thibaut Courtois are both out long-term. We probably won't see them this season at all. And they have the ball again as they move forward down the right-hand side on Gisa with the challenge. Kvaratskhelia comes away with it. Valverde goes with him straight away. And Valverde snaps into a challenge straight away. And it's out of play for throwing on the left-hand side for Napoli. It's 1-1. We've played 32.5 minutes.
It's been a great start here. It's been a very entertaining one at Old Trafford by the sounds of things, Rob Daly.
Certainly has. Wilfried Zaha, what a story. Just 4 appearances during his time at Manchester United before he eventually returned to Crystal Palace. He's back at Old Trafford here, and it is an acrobatic and special goal from him. Davinson Sanchez just lumped the ball forward, hopeful it would find a teammate. Zaha pinned himself to Dalot near the penalty area and just out-muscled him. Dalot couldn't get close to Zaha, and then he sort of acrobatically anchored his body around to hook an effort over Onana. Brilliant goal, and against the run of play, really. United trying to respond now. It's 1-1 here, Chris.
Felt inevitable somehow that Wilfried Zaha was going to do something this evening at Old Trafford. Bukayo Saka has been forced off injured for Arsenal away at Lens. Fabio Vieira is about to come on. It is 1-1 there. In the same group as United and Galatasaray, it's 0-0 between Copenhagen and Bayern. In the same group as Lens and Arsenal, it's 0-0 between PSV and Sevilla, and it's currently 0-0 between Inter and Benfica as well.
And Jude Bellingham's driving, scores! Oh, he's incredible! He's unstoppable, he's Jude Bellingham. He's run 30 metres with the ball straight through the heart of the Napoli defence. He got a little bit of a bobble off the defender, but as he got the lucky break, he didn't need asking twice. He fires home right-footed, driving straight through the heart of the Napoli defence. He is unstoppable. Napoli 1, Real Madrid 2. Jude Bellingham yet again.
Look, and when you are at the peak of your powers, you feel that you are unstoppable and you feel like you can do these things. I mean, at the end of the day, like Vinicius before, he picks the ball very far away from the opponent's ball. Was it there a chance for Real Madrid when Jude Bellingham picked the ball? No, it was non-existent. That was an action that looked totally innocuous, and Jude Bellingham gets the ball, turns back, starts running, leaves players behind, and he scores this beautiful goal after a lovely slalom through the box of Napoli. It's a terrific goal, but the best thing about this goal really is the confidence of Bellingham to produce something like this. Incredible goal.
He is a fearless footballer, and I did him a disservice there. I thought he got a lucky break off the defender. He didn't. He beat him all ends up, didn't he? And then he bumped him off the defender. Yes, he got a little bit of a break as he bounced into the ball, but did he need a second invitation to finish? And the way that he's so calm in front of goal, what a start to his Real Madrid career, what a start to his football career. Hey, yeah, incredible, what a talent, what a player. And Real Madrid have come from behind here. They won here 3-1, of course, in that round of 16 game 5 years ago. Osimhen at the other end trying to get a shot away, but it's taking a deflection and comfortable for Kepa to gather.
The thing with Jude Bellingham is that, okay, he's playing as a, let's say, number 10 for Real Madrid, but he could play as a number 5.
Well, they're off again here. Rodrigo out to the left-hand side to Vinicius Junior. We said they were building up ahead of steam. They've scored twice. They're looking for another. Vinicius Junior on the solo run now, trying to twist his way and waltz his way to get into one goal. But his shot in the end is a little wayward.
Yeah, a good one by Vinicius, by the way. The step overs, the final shot wasn't probably the best, the one he wanted. But just on Bellingham very quickly, the thing about him is that he is a player that is still evolving. I mean, we still don't know what's his best position. Maybe in the future he can play as a holding midfielder, you know, when his legs are not there anymore. He could play there now. We saw that against Manchester City last season, for example. He was the one just making sure that he held the midfielder together, the midfield line together for Borussia Dortmund. He can play as a number 10. As a number 9, as an emergency number 9, he can be a very good player too. So I think that he's got all this capacity that makes him pretty much an open book, but still like a prodigy to discover. I really want to see what he does with his potential, but what he's doing at Real Madrid is pretty amazing. At the end of the day, he has scored 8 goals already this season. This is the best number 9 numbers are around this region. 8-9 goals by October. It's incredible.
Well, here's Vinicius over on that left-hand side, cutting across the field. Bellingham moving to the left-hand side this time as Vinicius came inside. Carvajal on the right-hand side looking to get the ball across, but Kvaratskhelia cuts up the angle. Tchouaméni, now Toni Kroos, and it will come to Camavinga on the left-hand side. Everything is inside him. There was nothing outside him. Kroos takes over again and moves to the right-hand side to Tchouaméni, and they're so confident and comfortable in possession of the football. And now they play it up towards Rodrigo, who breaks inside the box, and it's on by Kroos. And then a strike by Vinicius is very well charged down by Østigård, and a left-footed strike by Toni Kroos is deflected up and over the bar. And right now, Real Madrid are playing some frightening football. They look so positive, so dominant, and Napoli are going to have to dig deep to stay with them here.
Yeah, this is the moment for Real Madrid probably to look for the 3rd goal, and Napoli has to, you know, to keep the scoreline if they can for the next minutes, because Real Madrid is really on a high.
Well, the corner was taken quickly. It's been moved all the way across towards Valverde, and Kvaratskhelia is coming off on the break now. Osimhen is ahead of him. Real Madrid are getting players back. Kvaratskhelia has held the ball up really, really well as he's been driven all the way towards halfway. And Real Madrid got players back well. This is Politano now on the right-hand side, trying to run away from Camavinga. His right-footed cross. Up goes Osimhen! What a save by Kepa! Keeps it out away to his right-hand side. Napoli trying to stay in the game. They're not just trying to stay in the game, they're trying to get back on terms. Osimhen with a fine leap and a fine header, just a little too close to the goalkeeper, and Kepa keeps it out. Quickly taken corner. Now Kvaratskhelia on Gisa, out towards the left-hand side. Oh, and it's a miscue by Zielinski, who holds his arms to the sky because he knew what an opportunity it was. Hey, it's a great game, this.
It's a lovely game. I mean, to start with, the cross of Politano was fantastic, and what a save by Kepa, because that header had real power in it.
Magnificent stop from Kepa. Heck of a game in Naples. Elsewhere remains 1-1 between United and Galatasaray, and 0-0 Copenhagen Bayern in Group A. Lens 1, Arsenal 1, PSV 0, Sevilla 0 in Group B, and it's Inter 0, Benfica 0. Earlier, Union Berlin 2, Braga 3, and Salzburg 0, Real Sociedad 2.
Does anyone remember who played up front in a Champions League final wearing number 5 yet, by the way?
Yeah, we haven't had time to think of this game.
It's too quick, isn't it? Someone will get it online, no doubt. It's Jude Bellingham inside the centre circle, out towards Tchouaméni, and back to Bellingham, who's right on the centre spot. Forward it goes towards Rodrigo. Now out towards the left-hand side is Camavinga. Rodrigo again on this left-hand touchline now, just coming from one side of the field to the, just changing the angle, changing the equation, facing Napoli. What a potent front three this is. It's Bellingham now. Bellingham on towards Valverde. His little step back towards the Englishman doesn't quite come off, and it was cut out by Nathan, and Oliveira will try to get the ball away, and Nathan is there, and then Zielinski and Oliveira, and they've worked their way through the press there. Now they've got to get out. Kvaratskhelia has it, plays the ball from the left-hand side to the right. That's an easy way to get out of a press, isn't it? Just move the ball from one side of the field to the other, absolutely effortlessly. And Politano now takes over. He looks up ahead of him as Anguissa makes a run. He goes right towards Di Lorenzo. Here is Anguissa now. Inside to Politano, little bit of space. Politano's thinking about a shot, does get a shot away, but doesn't quite get the power. And it's a comfortable save for Kepa this time.
Yeah, this time it's a comfortable one. I think Politano ideally would have liked to send the ball to the other side of the goal, but you know, I think that Nacho was covering the angle very well. One thing about Camavinga, I think that physically he can cover some of the, I'm going to say, deficiencies that he may have as a left back, because he's naturally a midfielder. But sometimes you see that he's still maybe not the fastest at the time of stopping a cross or blocking it. Like, for example, he didn't do it with Politano before. He still has to add to his game all these automated things that natural left backs have, like, for example, Fran Garcia, or let alone Ferland Mendy, who is today on the bench.
Well, the ball is on the right-hand side with Dani Carvajal here, and he plays it back towards halfway, where Toni Kroos will take over. We're 4 minutes away from half-time, by the way. plus a little bit of stoppage time, of course. There will be a bit of loose change on the end. But something else that I want to mention as well, we've not even hardly seen Clement Turpin tonight, by the way. The game has moved so fast, but it's been played in such a wonderful spirit and a wonderful atmosphere down there amongst the players that the referee might as well not be out there. There's hardly been a stoppage in the game. It really has been such a lovely football game to watch. It really has. Very, very enjoyable. And at the moment, Real Madrid have come from behind. They lead by 2-1, and Jude Bellingham has the second goal and is on the ball now, just 10 metres inside his own half on the right-hand side of centre. Taken over by Valverde. Bellingham once again looks across the centre circle and sees the ever-available Toni Kroos. The pass by Vinicius is a little wayward. He's unable to find Kroos, but Nacho is there to tidy up, and then Tchouaméni, and now Camavinga on the halfway line, but he might give that away. How on earth has he kept that? Spider legs to keep hold of that ball. Plays it forward looking for Rodrigo. Nathan is in the way and gets the ball back to his goalkeeper. It was almost like Camavinga's leg just grew massively. Then he looked as though he'd lost the ball and hooked it around. It was amazing. Here comes Anguissa in the halfway line, right by the centre spot.
The thing is, just very quickly, he's so privileged physically that sometimes he can amend his own mistakes, and this is something that Camavinga does a lot.
That's what makes them elite level players.
Exactly, exactly. Yeah.
Kvaratskhelia has won a corner here for Napoli. Dani Carvajal with the challenge, and the man they call the Georgian genius is over on the left-hand side. He's going to take the corner himself. Right-footed, it will be an in-swing. He's got a longer run at this than Toni Kroos takes, 3 or 4 steps, drives it into the penalty area. It's got a little touch off the defender on the way through. It was Tchouaméni who flicked it perhaps right off the top of Nathan and Osimhen's heads there. Vital touch by Aurélien Tchouaméni.
I think that Napoli should keep on trying crosses. Real Madrid is suffering a little bit when it comes to defending this kind of actions.
Well, here comes another corner, and just for a moment, Kepa nearly got caught out, but it was high and up over the top. It came in and swung round from Politano, harmlessly away from goal.
And let's head to Old Trafford updates on Manchester United against Galatasaray.
Still 1-1 here, Chris. Good chance for Manchester United. Mason Mount picking up the ball centre field, swept it wide left to Rashford. He produced a couple of step-overs before cutting it back to Mount, who'd made his way into the area. His shot was on target, but his own teammate Hannibal was in the way of it. It hit his knee and it bounced away. United do look more threatening, but it's worth noting that Diogo Dalot, who was muscled off the ball by Zaha for the equaliser, is now on a yellow card against Zaha. 3 minutes added time, 1-1 at Old Trafford.
Sounds like a great game. It's 0-0 elsewhere in that section. Copenhagen against Bayern. Group B remains goalless in Eindhoven, PSV Sevilla. 1-1 between Lens and Arsenal. And it's still Inter 0, Benfica 0. All of those matches going into added on time at the end of the first half. Can Napoli come back before the break against Real Madrid, John Bradley?
Well, we are in the final minute of the first 45, and here they come again on the counter-attack. Charging through midfield is Rodrigo, and Nathan has caught him. They're going to give the free kick. The referee, to his credit, Clement Turpin, tried to give it advantage as Valverde was there, but it was a clear trip, and we're going to go back for a free kick, probably about 30 metres out.
Yeah, and the referee finally had some work to do, because so far it's been a very quiet game, and that is probably a dreamt game for the referee as well. He didn't have to make any strong decisions, difficult decisions, but here, yeah, Nathan is getting this yellow card, and I think that was the only way to stop Rodrigo in that action. So, you know, a yellow card for the Brazilian centre-back. He will have to be way more careful in the second half.
Well, there's 1 minute of stoppage time at the end of this first half. What's the age-old cliche? It's a good time to score just before half-time. Well, this is a free kick in a really good area. It couldn't be any more central, really. It's just a fraction to the left. Clement Turpin paces out 10 steps and says to the Napoli players, you've got 3 back to come yet. Draws the line on the floor with the white spray, and then says to the 4-man defensive wall, stay there, don't move.
I think that Valverde wants it. The Falcon, as they nicknamed him. He loves these shots.
It's Valverde. Toni Kroos is there too. Rodrigo is there. Nacho's having a look around as well and having a conversation with the referee. There's a long discussion taking place, but Valverde fancies it, and it is Fede Valverde. and there is a charger out of the wall, and the referee says to the players who were coming, there was a foul on Lobotka, so it's a free kick to Napoli. Lobotka was trying to get out from the wall, but the man who was in the wall was in his way. And that will do. What a first half we've had. It started fast, it got even faster, incredible intensity throughout. Leo Ostigard put the home side in front. What a response though from Vinicius Junior and Jude Bellingham. And at half-time here, it is Napoli 1, Real Madrid 2.
Brilliant fixture as Carlo Ancelotti heads down the tunnel for his half-time team talk. We head to Old Trafford, Rob Daly.
Yeah, final seconds of the first half here, Chris, as Mason Mount gives away a free kick right by the Galatasaray penalty area for a late challenge on Sasha Boer. United have been trying to put the squeeze on Galatasaray before half-time, but haven't really tested Fernando Muslera since Wilfried Zaha's unexpected and spectacular goal on 23 minutes. Rasmus Højlund's header on 17 had put United ahead after a lovely ball into the channel to Marcus Rashford. He fizzed a half-volley cross, and Højlund was there to meet it absolutely perfectly to smash it past Muslera. United have had half opportunities, but haven't really created enough to properly worry Galatasaray, who will be pleased as the half-time whistle blows at Old Trafford. Here, it's Manchester United 1, Galatasaray 1.
between Napoli and Real Madrid. And Real Madrid, once again, supposedly evolving, supposedly not at their best. Hey, Real Madrid are winning again. Real Madrid always seem to win. That's what they do, and that's what they've done very well to come back into this game. And whilst the equaliser might have had a helping hand from Napoli giving the ball away to help them along, what we did say before that is they were really building up ahead of steam. They were putting massive pressure on, and that's what probably forced the error in the end more than anything else, because they were really, really under the cosh, as they say, were Napoli, weren't they, Alvaro?
Absolutely, and I think that Real Madrid's pressure worked really well. Then when they had the possession, Toni Kroos was the one dictating, and Napoli have had a very commendable first half. I think that they produced the chances as well, but maybe Real Madrid show a little bit more quality up front, and they had individuals that made the difference. And at the end of the day, in the Champions League, in a tough day, that is a massive thing to have at your disposal. A guy like Vinicius or Jude Bellingham, who can actually say, you know what, I'm gonna do this myself.
Yes, and Real Madrid centre forward, their free scoring number 5 has scored again, 8 now for the season for Jude Bellingham, wearing the same number, of course, that Zinedine Zidane graced in his time at the club. And well, with the start he's made to his career, who's to know what Bellingham's going to go on and achieve with Real Madrid. Of course, Zidane only won UEFA Champions League once with Real Madrid. It was that incredible Leverkusen goal, of course, at Hampden Park in Glasgow. And Jude Bellingham would do anything to lift this trophy. And as we say, there has been one number 5 in the final, up front of a UEFA Champions League final. It's a famous one as well. We'll give you the answer to that soon. Here's Kvaratskhelia moving in from the left-hand side and playing it out towards Oliveira on the left-hand side, who's a bit further on the touchline. Kvaratskhelia just inside, trying to twist away from Tchouameni, plays the ball inside, and just a little poke, a little stab, and it's picked up by Kepa, but had a blue shirt ready, it would have so easily have been a leveller.
I think at some point, Kvaratskhelia, he wasn't too aware that he could have shot with the left foot, because he was thinking about crossing.
Hello, Chris.
John, when are you going to give us this answer?
Well, do you want it now?
On the 50-minute mark, please.
On the 50-minute mark, okay. If anyone at home wants to join in, you can get in touch with us and give us the answer. Who wore number 5 in the UEFA Champions League final? It's a famous one. The ball is back with Rudiger, who had to hurry up. And he still manages to get it downfield under a really firm challenge that was made on him by Kvaratskhelia. The ball now right-hand side with Rodrigo, charging hard down that touchline, held up by Oliveira, and Carvajal is there with Tchouameni, who's very much the anchor man in this midfield. Here's Kroos now, who on his right foot is inside the centre circle, exchanges passes with Bellingham. Camavinga down the left-hand side. He's got Vinicius outside and Bellingham inside. The ball is with Vinicius now. Corner of the penalty area, left-hand side. Toni Kroos takes over. Thought about going to Carvajal, then just goes short to Fede Valverde. Valverde again. Now Tchouameni. Back the ball goes to Nacho. They're keeping the ball beautifully here on Real Madrid at the start of the second half, but Vinicius can't keep a pass as he tries to lay it off for Bellingham, and Rudiger comes across. It's going to run out of play for a throw-in. We've played 3 minutes at the start of the second half. Napoli 1, Real Madrid 2 on Matchday Live, and Di Lorenzo will come to take a throw.
Yeah, and I can see the eagerness of Victor Osimhen to get the ball, because he hasn't touched it a lot in the first half, maybe more in the first 20 minutes than afterwards, even though he had a really good chance around the 35th minute of the game. But you know, he's sometimes pressing for the ball against Rudiger and against Nacho, and you can really tell that he has little chance of getting it, because so far Real Madrid's central defense has been quite comfortable, at least in open play. Another thing is the set piece scenario.
Zielinski moves the ball from left to right, in by Di Lorenzo. Osimhen got a run on Rudiger, but it was a fine piece of defending by the big German to get the ball away under pressure from Osimhen, and he probably drew a foul as well, in truth.
Yeah, brilliant defending from Antonio Rudiger. How has the second half begun at Old Trafford, Rob Daly?
Yeah, I'd say inside the opening 4 minutes, Chris, it's Galatasaray who've actually looked more menacing. They're really getting Aktürkoğlu in attacking midfield on the ball a lot, and they were nearly in for a chance there, but for a very good challenge by Varane. Change at half-time for Manchester United, by the way. Hannibal Mejbri's Champions League debut is over. Christian Eriksen is now in midfield alongside Casemiro and Mount. United 1, Galatasaray 1.
Arsenal very close to retaking the lead, and Lance Brissamble with a very good save save to deny Leandro Trossard. Still 1-1 there, still 2-1 to Real Madrid in Naples.
Well, here's Zielinski moving up towards the edge of the penalty. Osimhen tried to turn, beautifully read by Nacho, who saw the danger, slid across him as he tried to fire a left-footed shot and just blocked the ball behind. It's a great bit of defending by... do we call him a veteran yet? Nacho, he seems to have been around forever, doesn't he?
Yeah, he is. He's a veteran, but he's still at the peak of his powers, really.
And he's the ever-dependable, ever-reliable who can fill in anywhere. But tonight, of course, he is the captain of Real Madrid. They are just having a look at the moment and having a VAR check for a potential handball when blocking the ball by Nacho there. The ball ricocheted off his foot, and they're just asking whether or not it bounced onto his arm from there. So we have a VAR check for a potential penalty for handball against the Real Madrid captain here. Clement Turpin is chatting away to 4 or 5 of the players down there, and he has a little look and just shrugs his shoulders and says, well, when Jérôme Brissard is finished, I'll let you know, and we'll let you know what's going on. He walks away from the players now, puts his finger to his ear, and again, just a little roll of his eyes, and he flicks his eyebrows up and down towards Politano. It's a lengthy check, this. What happened is that as Nacho slid in, he blocked the ball with his foot, and it seemed to be deflected on towards where his hand was. It's whether or not that hand is in an unnatural position, which will decide whether or not this is going to be a penalty kick for Napoli. Remember, they trail by 2-1.
We'll know very soon, but what a run by Zielinski, by the way. He's the best player in Italy in key passes given, if you check the Serie A stats. So he has had a good start of the season, but he was a little bit quiet with the ball in the first half. Now he passed the ball to Osimhen. Osimhen is the first one to arrive in the ball. He takes the shot, and then the rebound, or it bounced back from Nacho. We want to see what happened exactly, but this is a very key moment in the game.
We're going to go and have a look at the screen here. There is something to decide for Clement Turpin, one of the very best in the business, and he's off to the big screen, which is a fair runaway for him, over on the running track behind the technical area. Now, as the ball comes off, Osimhen, he shoots, and then it's whether it's deflected onto the arm of Nacho. This is what he's looking at right now. And Osimhen's arm is there, Nacho's arm is there. We've got another angle that we are now looking at from behind. And the arm, the left arm is up, and Clement Turpin has made his decision. And he's coming back onto the field. He blows his whistle, makes the TV gesture, and signals for a Napoli penalty. It's handball by Nacho. He's unfortunate because the ball has ricocheted off his foot onto his arm, but it's in an unnatural position, and therefore, as we all know, it's a penalty kick. Misfortune for Nacho, but it is a penalty kick, and Napoli have the chance to level things up from the spot.
It's highly coincidental as well, because it could have gone either way. I mean, if it hadn't hit Nacho's arm, it would have hit Osimhen's arm. That was the funny thing about it, that all the arms were around the ball, and Nacho was very unlucky.
Well, the man who Alvaro says has had more key passes than anybody else has the most key pass of all here. He's got to pass it into the net. It's over to you, Piotr Zielinski, addressing the ball from about 4 or 5 paces away. He's a couple of meters inside the penalty area, just to the left of the ball that sits on the penalty spot. Kepa on his line, 2 arms up above his head, all in green. Zielinski flicks his hair, puts his hands on his hips, and now addresses the ball, right-footed, and it's into the bottom corner. It's gone in off the post, and Napoli are level. It's a penalty from the pole that has leveled this game up. It's Napoli 2, Real Madrid 2.
And I will say that it's a very well taken penalty as well. He took a big element of risk in there because the ball hit the post. 3rd goal of the season for Zielinski, 2-2 in this game. You know, it's all at stake.
Cannot wait for the remaining half an hour or so. Sevilla thought they had taken the lead away at PSV. Adria Pedrosa with the finish, but hit his arm in the build-up to that. And they have also just hit the bar as well. PSV are attacking too. Can't believe that's still 0-0, but it is. And a 2-2 with this stadium quite literally bouncing. Can't wait to see what is going to happen. Well, there's been a huge goal in Copenhagen, and Bayern are behind. Parken is alive. I'll get back to you with the goal scorer. But in Group A, perhaps the surprise scoreline of the night. 55 gone, Copenhagen 1, Bayern 0.
Well, two of the big boys of the UEFA Champions League have just conceded. Real Madrid here in Naples and Bayern in Copenhagen. And now Kepa, who was beaten away to his right by the penalty. Credit to Zielinski. I mean, he's hit it right against the base of the post and it's gone in. A centimetre back this way, it probably comes out. There's a cross as Kepa is able to take under pressure from Kvaratskhelia. You'd probably say it's the perfect penalty. It's unsavable. But 1, 2, 3 centimetres back this way, it comes out off the post.
But I couldn't like that shot more because, you know, he went for that and he knew that there was a big element of risking.
I would question that he went for exactly off the post and in that.
Oh, yeah.
There's a ball that's inside the fullback. It's Vinicius at the other end. He's dodged into the penalty area as he tried to play the ball across left-footed. He miscues it. It's behind for a goal kick. Oh, it's coming to life again now.
It certainly is. Lucas Laraga is the man who has scored for Copenhagen. A couple of shots blocked and then it popped out to him, who volleyed it into the ground and beyond. Sven Ulreich, first ever group stage goal. Copenhagen 1, Bayern 0.
FC Copenhagen beating Bayern Munich just over the that's a fair old distance over the border, of course, from Germany to Denmark. But what a night that will be in the park, and if they win that game. And here, what a night it will be if Napoli could beat Real Madrid for the first time ever. 4 previous games, 3 defeats and a draw. It's Kvaratskhelia on the left-hand side, away from Dani Carvajal. Right-footed shot! Oh my word! It's just a fraction wide. He's hit that like an exocet, and the goalkeeper was flying away to his right, hoping it didn't go in. It hits the side netting, not the inside of the goal. What a hit that was.
And the net is still vibrating. I mean, what a shot from Kvaratskhelia. It was incredible, really. He decided to have a one-on-one on Carvajal. He won it, and then he looked for a very surprising shot, because I think that everyone expected Kvaratskhelia to put the ball on the other corner of the goal, but he went for that one. And, you know, it's been very close. I mean, Napoli is attacking now. And
it's like a game of basketball. This is so fast and going end to end. It's brilliant.
And you know what happens in basketball? That everything changes from 1 minute to another. So
it's Di Lorenzo on the right-hand side, and outside him is Politano. Cuts in field, Camavinga coming with him. The ball up towards Osimhen, away by Nacho. It comes out towards Politano again. Kvaratskhelia on the left-hand side. Twists one way, turns the other. He's going to shoot again, is he? He just couldn't quite get the shot away. Oh, Zielinski can, and the goalkeeper forced to make a really good save to beat it away. He saw that late, did Kepa, but he did so well to keep it out. Got 2 good hands on it. Real Madrid could easily be behind now. They were winning a couple of minutes ago. And now Anguissa. What an answer this has been by Napoli at the start of the second half. 2-2 in Naples, and this famous old stadium is rocking to the beat and the noise of the Napoli fans right now.
All that said, Real Madrid has to make sure that they cover a little bit better the edge of the box.
Kvaratskhelia to Osimhen inside the penalty area. Round the outside, it's Oliveira. His cross arriving as Politano. It's away well by Camavinga. And Nacho, right-footed, volleys away up to halfway. Now it's the turn of Real Madrid to try and stay with Napoli, whose tails are up, who are snapping into tackles and passing the ball with a real crispness. Bellingham trying to challenge Lobotka, ends up pushing him. And here they come again on the left-hand side with Oliveira. We missed the 50-minute mark, by the way, that we were going to answer the question. But hey, let's see what's going on in this game. There's so much drama right now. And the ball is with Østigård. Now Anguissa in the central defensive position. It's moved from right to left and on towards Natan. Left-hand side the ball goes a little further to Oliveira. Instructions from the technical area from Ancelotti. Kvaratskhelia dribbling his way through 3 players. Eventually it's brought to a halt by Antonio Rudiger. And Real Madrid get the ball for the first time seemingly in a couple of minutes, and now can start to move away downfield. And they move downfield with Camavinga, who's lost it, and Di Lorenzo with a challenge. And here come Napoli again, and it's Zielinski, his pass a little short. And with Camavinga caught out of position downfield, it was Bellingham who was all the way in the left-back position. Yes, he does get everywhere.
He does. I wouldn't be surprised if at some point
Well, what a turn that is. It's Vinicius who's rolled off the defender. It was Ostigard, and he goes on, and it's still Vinicius Jr. inside the penalty area, and eventually they've managed to crowd him out and hold him up. Nathan and Ostigard just managing between them physically and tactically halting his run.
No, absolutely. Just very quickly, I wouldn't be surprised if Carlo Ancelotti reconsiders the left-back position, because Camavinga, I think that he's a little bit out of place in there right now.
Well, here's Kvaratskhelia at the other end. Sorry to dive in. Valverde did well. Sorry.
No, absolutely. And a great run by Benitez, by the way, because, again, he got in the box himself, and two centre-backs were needed to stop him.
Well, Valverde's given the ball away here to Politano. Toni Kroos couldn't stretch and keep it. And now it's with Zielinski, who gathers the ball and plays it inside once again, where it's Lobotka, now on Gisa. Politano, corner of the penalty area. Di Lorenzo is outside him, back towards Politano. Again, he looks up and left-footed chips the ball across to the left-hand side of the field, and it's gathered by Mateus Oliveira. Oliveira helps the ball on. Now Zielinski, Lobotka, further left is Kvaratskhelia, rolls the ball in. What a dummy that is by Zielinski. Osimhen trying to turn, but three Real Madrid players got to him very, very quickly. It was clever from Napoli. Good stretch by Oliveira to win the ball back as Real Madrid tried to clear. He's ushered forward by his teammates, and his cross is a little long and a little loose. And for the first time, we're almost going to get a chance of a breath here, because we've reached the hour mark, and it's seemingly been non-stop this game. It's 2-2, Chris.
Magnificent group stage fixture. Some latest scores in. Inter 0, Benfica 0, Lens 1, Arsenal 1, Copenhagen 1, Bayern 0, and it's still 0-0 somehow in the game between PSV Eindhoven and Sevilla. PSV have just hit the post. Marcus Thuram has just fired Inter ahead by the looks of things. That will be a big goal for last season's beaten finalists. And Napoli are on the attack in Naples as Real Madrid launched at a long way clear. We'll get back to John Bradley in a moment, but we'll head to Rob Daly at Old Trafford for a quick update.
Yeah, Chris, United in the ascendancy at the moment. They've had three major moments on the attack here as Bruno Fernandes finds Casemiro in the box. Really good piece of defending to shut down the shot from the Brazilian. Rasmus Højlund moments ago at a goal disallowed for offside. Lovely trickery from him inside the box when played in by Mount, but he was beyond the last man. It's still United 1, Galatasaray 1.
This game is so fast and so intense that we're really brave leaving it for like 5 seconds. There's so much going on. It's Kvaratskhelia up towards Anguissa again. We're about 30 metres from the Real Madrid goal right now, and they're just going a little bit deeper as Anguissa just comes out and goes back towards halfway. We just saw on the TV monitors that we have the replays of two of those Napoli shots. I think one of them was about 8 minutes ago. Yeah. It's the first chance they've had to show us the replay of the Kvaratskhelia shot that hammered into the side netting. Here they come again on the left-hand side with the Oliveira. Back the ball comes to the fullback once again, and now Nathan will take over and find Ostigard. Di Lorenzo on the right-hand side with his right foot just chips it back into the middle of the field, and Nathan on his chest controls it and moves up to halfway. Right-footed stab, and now onto his left foot. Oliveira again. They've just slowed down a little here, Napoli, after that fast and furious passage of play after they equalised, where they were trying to get themselves in front. And maybe that's because Real Madrid have just calmed down a little as well after seeing their lead cancelled out in this game. Nathan drives forward long, and he says to Osimhen, get after that. And Rudiger is the defender. Osimhen might just get the ball and beat him here. Oh, what a bit of defending that is. Rudiger was second best at first, but Osimhen, who looked to have the ball and go, Rudiger just stretched around and said, I'll have that. Now at the other end, Vinicius Jr. is inside the penalty area, but he's done that by fouling Leo Ostigard, and it's a free kick to Napoli. And breathe.
Just a bit more information on that goal from Marcus Thuram. Latched onto the ball on the edge of the box and then drilled a right-footed effort beyond the despairing goal dive of the goalkeeper. Fine finish for Inter, who of course scored a late equaliser on Matchday 1. And just one other thing, with half an hour to go in all of the late games. In Group A currently, a section with Manchester United, Galatasaray and Bayern. Copenhagen in the live league table are top of that section, courtesy of their 1-0 lead at the moment at Park, and that is quite a story, and we will follow it all on UEFA Champions League Matchday Live.
Let's take a screenshot.
Double change here. Double change for Real Madrid here. Nostradamus Romeo has called it. Ferland Mendy has come on at left back to replace Eduardo Camavinga.
Nostralvarus.
Nostralvarus. There you go. And Luka Modric has come on, I think, which has been happening in pretty much every game.
John,
Chris,
you're 14 minutes late. Give your answer, please.
Milan Baros for Liverpool against AC Milan.
And the question again?
Was who wore number 5 and played up front in the UEFA Champions League final?
For more
because this is
John
Jude
Bradley's
Bellingham.
quiz, head to...
This is because Jude Bellingham is playing up front for Real Madrid and wearing number 5. And we were trying to remember forwards who were... Of course, Zidane wore 5, but never actually played as an out-and-out central striker. He just played where he wanted. When you're that good, you do play where you want. The ball is with Kepa in the Real Madrid goal. With those changes, we've just had a calm minute or so in this game. It's probably the first calm minute we've had for about half an hour of playing time. It's on Gisa, onto Zielinski. Now Kvaratskhelia runs inside Carvalho. He's beaten him. He's inside the penalty. Kvaratskhelia shot. He's charged down by Rudiger. And that's a huge block because that was 3-2. But for the outstretched leg of Antonio Rudiger.
Yeah, one of the difference between the first half and the second half is that Zielinski has activated himself and he's playing really well with the ball. He's not only chasing the ball and doing a very commendable defensive work, but also when it comes to creating, he's providing with a lot of good balls, intensity, as well, like plenty of great passes too. You know, his second half is fantastic.
Kvaratskhelia. Little drag over, little roll over the top of the ball with his feet. Back the ball goes to Zielinski. It's high towards Di Lorenzo. Ferland Mendy gets the ball away. On Giso! Snap volley on the turn is half a metre wide.
Well, he took the shot. I think that it was a good position to take it with ambition. I think that it was the kind of shot that if a player is fast enough just to use their feet and their toes and put it there, you can score a tap-in, actually. But a good chance for Napoli again, and this second half is theirs, and the dynamic is with Napoli right now. Fortunately for Real Madrid, Rudiger is doing plenty of heroic defending in the small box and in every part of the pitch. Really fantastic game by the German defender.
Certainly has been. Goal in Eindhoven. Nemanja Gudeli doesn't get many, but he's just acrobatically volleyed Sevilla into the lead away at PSV. Some finish from the Serbian defender, and he got a massive bear hug from Sergio Ramos after scoring that. So 1-0, and Brice Samba has just probably pulled off the save of the night to keep it at 1-1 between Lens and Arsenal. A firm shot, and he stuck out his right leg and has somehow kept it out. Extraordinary goalkeeping as Real Madrid attack.
Yeah, it's Rodrigo on the corner of the penalty area on the left-hand side. He's run away from Di Lorenzo, who's trying to stay with him. On towards Vinicius Junior, and it's cleared away again by scramble cover defence from Napoli. It was Ostigard who stretched to get the ball away. This is breathless football. It really is so good. It's been such a fantastic game to watch.
But of course, I mean, Napoli was so good in the second half that Real Madrid had to resort, number one, to a player like Luka Modric, who provides something kind of similar to Toni Kroos in the sense that he can dictate the game. He also is very good keeping the possession. But the most significant substitution, in my opinion, has been the Camavinga for Ferland Mendy, because also at the Madrid derby, Carlo Ancelotti changed the fullbacks because the fullbacks weren't just giving him what he wanted. And in this game, Camavinga has been okay, but you know, Napoli has been attacking so well that you need to include in the game or put in the game a defensive specialist, and Ferland Mendy is one of those.
Well, Modric has the ball now. He's midway inside the Napoli half, and he moves it on here towards Carvajal. Now Valverde wearing that white bandage on his right wrist. He's trying to work his way through, but Lobotka, as ever, gets in the way. And Osimhen now with Rudiger. That's a foul by Antonio Rudiger, who's just basically run right through Victor Osimhen.
2 goals in Group A. Jamal Musiala has equalised. Copenhagen 1, Bayern 1, and this has just happened at Old Trafford.
Moves it into Sergio Oliveira, the substitute, but he's given it away. And Højlund breaks over the halfway line. He's away from Sanchez. It's Højlund going all the way. What a finish! Rasmus Højlund to the double for Manchester United. This feels like his breakout night. A solo goal from inside his own half. point in the second half. It's Manchester United 2, Galatasaray 1. What a goal from Højlund.
Rob Daly, you heard him there. Stretford End, new signing. That's a big goal right for Manchester United.
It certainly is, Chris. Shades of Ruud van Nistelrooy in the way that Højlund took it. He has been outstanding tonight with his hold-up play, with his pace as well. And he was so quick to race away from Galatasaray defenders there. Might be the centre forward that Manchester United have been crying out for. Could have had a hat-trick, but has had a goal disallowed for offside too. United on the attack here. Garnacho just off the bench, drops it into Bruno Fernandes on the edge of the area. He scoops it forward towards Højlund. It's cut out by Sanchez. But United have been putting the squeeze on Chris prior to that goal. They deserve to be ahead here probably. And with 20 minutes to go, Manchester United 2, Galatasaray 1.
20 minutes to go. There might just be more drama at Old Trafford this evening. There certainly is at Stade Bollard de l'Ailes, because Lens lead Arsenal. Sepi Way with a brilliant finish. Right wing cross. First time effort, and he's fizzed it beyond David Raya. Arsenal led. Now they trail. Lens were in the second tier a couple of years ago. Now they're ahead in a Champions League group stage match.
Well, here it's 2-2 in the showpiece game of the night on Champions League Matchday Live. And it has been everything we wanted it to be. It's been exhilarating between Napoli and Real Madrid. Elif Elmas has just come on, by the way, for Matteo Politano, while you were hearing what was going on elsewhere, and already he's making a burst across the pitch. Is the North Macedonian. Kvaratskhelia will take over. Arriving from right fullback now is Di Lorenzo. There's his cross. Osimhen desperate to win it. What a battle he and Rudiger are having, by the way. It is one of the great little subplots of this game so far. The battle between those two, so physical, so demanding, but so much respect between the two as well. They've given the ball away here of Napoli, but they soon win it back by crowding out Rodrigo. And the ball is on halfway. Nathan out towards Østigard, and then it's moved on once again towards Frank Zambo Anguissa, who's the last person to have an attempt at goal in this game. That right-footed volley that was just wide of the target. Did score in the Champions League last year against Liverpool. He got a number of league goals as well in Serie A. I suppose that it's probably one thing in his career he's not been known for his goal scoring. They would have loved one there. Here's Bellingham, who is known for his goal scoring. He's got a yellow card, by the way, while you were listening to Chris as well. He objected to a handball decision against him and spoke out of turn. And Clement Turpin, of course, with the new directive now for referees, showed the yellow card to the Englishman straight away. And we are 18 minutes away from the 90-minute mark in this game. It's still 2-2, and Modric is dribbling forward, and Modric is shooting, and the shot is deflected behind. It will be a corner.
And the game has calmed down a little bit. In the last 5 minutes, we haven't had any chance. I think Real Madrid has gotten their act together a little bit more, and now they are also enjoying some possession too, and it's more leveled up. I mean, we're in that stage in which I think that Joselu may come onto the pitch soon, just to play the final minutes of the game.
Well, Modric will take the corner. It will be a right-footed outswinger. Once again, he looks inside the penalty area and sees 5 black shirts moving towards the ball, but Osimhen heads the ball away. He's so good in both penalty areas, isn't he? Such a key component of what Napoli do defensively and offensively. The ball is with Vinicius over on that left-hand side. Now Tchouameni will take over. Helped on towards Ferland Mendy. Now on the right-hand side, moving over halfway, is Fede Valverde. Modric is outside him, holding his position from taking that corner. That's why he's on the right-hand touchline. Now infield the ball goes, and Mendy moves the ball on again, a little bit further towards Vinicius. He's cut it inside and playing it towards Modric. Really good read by Lobotka, doing what he does so well. On the ball goes again as they try to work their way downfield. Again, it's Ferland Mendy in the middle of midfield, gathering the ball. Out on the left-hand side now is Tchouameni. Tchouameni looks up, right-footed, little square pass to Rodrigo. He dribbles up towards the corner of the penalty area. Modric is a little behind him, taking over into the penalty area to Carvajal. Now Carvajal tries to work away from one. Oh, shot on the turn from Vinicius, and the follow-up is by Bellingham, and it is a whisker away from 3-2 to Real Madrid. It was a really good save initially by the goalkeeper. Bellingham trying instinctively to turn the ball home, couldn't quite do so.
Real Madrid turning the screw. At Old Trafford, we have had a 4th goal.
Icardi, lovely ball, Barış Yilmaz. Right side of the United penalty area. Cuts it back, and they're in! Galatasaray are level again! Actukoglu! Some reply from Galatasaray! He celebrates in front of their away supporters in a pocket of Old Trafford. A brilliant counter-attack goal. Barış Yılmaz makes it. Actukoglu scores it. What drama! Manchester United 2, Galatasaray 2.
The Champions League at its best. 2-2 at Old Trafford, 1-1 at Parken in the same section. Copenhagen against Bayern. Lens still lead Arsenal by 2-1. It's PSV 0, Sevilla 1 in the same group, and it's still Inter 1, Benfica 0 earlier. Union Berlin were 2-0 up. They lost 3-2, and Salzburg were beaten 2-0 by Real Sociedad. We have had an awful lot of drama so far, and there is still 15 minutes to go in our 6 late games. You're listening to Champions League Matchday Live. Get in touch. Use the hashtag Matchday Live. Tell us where in the world you are listening, and sit back and enjoy the remainder of tonight, John Bradley.
Yeah, Nostra Alvaro has struck again because he predicted that Joselu would be coming on for Rodrigo, and he is on for Rodrigo now. We're expecting that to mean that Valverde will go and play on the right-hand side. Bellingham will drop into midfield. I think that's the way that we'll expect that one to happen, but there's such fluidity in the way that this Real Madrid side lines up. What he didn't see, though, is Giacomo Raspadori coming on for Piotr Zielinski.
Yes.
So you failed there.
I failed there. I mean, I should put a wire in Napoli bench just to listen to what the manager said. But, you know, I think that the Raspadori substitution makes a lot of sense as well. Zielinski was having a good second half, but maybe he ran out of steam, energy. And Raspadori last season in the Champions League was phenomenal. He scored 4 goals. Let's don't forget it.
Well, that's a ball towards Joselu, but the defender does well and heads the ball away. It has been such a physically demanding game on both these sets of players. It's understandable if players are starting to feel it and the exertions of this game. It's a corner, by the way, to Real Madrid. Joselu putting himself about very early on, and the corner's taken quickly, and it's on towards Luka Modric, who wants to work an opening to deliver the cross with his right foot. Now delivers away by Osimhen again. It's going to come out to Dani Carvajal, out towards the left-hand side, where it's gathered by Vinicius. Stabbed right-footed ball towards the far post. He was looking for Rudiger. It's going to run away out, and it's behind, and as well as getting a whack there, they are going to have to defend another corner here. Chris.
We can head to Old Trafford, where there is a penalty kick.
Galatasaray have a penalty here, Chris. 13 minutes to go. It's Manchester United 2, Galatasaray 2. Fouled by Casemiro. He's been sent off for a challenge on Mertens. Mauro Icardi now stands over the ball. Referee shuffling players away from the edge of the box. Icardi in all white with his bright blonde hair patiently waits here. The Galatasaray top scorer. He looks to the sky in Manchester. It's Icardi who steps up right-footed and puts it wide. He's missed it. It stays 2-2. A miss from Icardi.
And the ball is half cleared there, and it comes out. Oh, what a goal! That's incredible! What a strike! The corner was cleared away by Ostigard. It's come out to Fede Valverde, 30 metres out. He's hit an unstoppable shot. It's come back off the crossbar. It's hit the goalkeeper on the head, and it's gone back into the net. It's sensational from Valverde. It is an own goal by the goalkeeper in the end. It's cruel on him, but what on earth has Valverde hit there? That is an absolute rocket.
It's a thunderbolt. It's a classic Fede Valverde shot. I mean, this player, we are going to get used to this more and more and more, because his shot from outside the box, it's incredible. Let's don't forget that against Union Berlin, it was needed a shot of Fede Valverde that got deflected, that Jude Bellingham tapped in to win the game against Union Berlin, the German side. And today, Fede Valverde may have given the win to Real Madrid. Incredible shot. What a right foot from the Uruguayan. It's 3-2 for Real Madrid away at Napoli. Second goal of the season for Fede Valverde.
What a game. It's cruel on Alex Mere, because the ball's come back off the bar and hit him on the head and gone in. But I cannot begin to tell you how hard Valverde has hit that shot. It took a touch on the way through from a defender, which might have even taken a fraction of the pace off it. Had the bar not stopped it, it would have been out the back of the stadium and out into the sea.
Garnacho darting to the area here for United. Garnacho, brilliant block. United nearly had a third to take the lead again. Good block from Abdul Kerim.
Well, down by the corner flag there's going to be a free kick. Anguissa is penalised.
I was going to tell you of Fede Valverde. Once last year, before the World Cup started, he took a shot at Rayo Vallecano ground, and Rayo Vallecano ground is a small one. He took the ball outside the ground. Basically, the ball went away and went inside the window. So went inside a private flat. Probably broke a chandelier or two.
You will be able to see that on UEFA.com later. It was a thunderbolt.
Okay, to bring everybody up to date with 10 minutes to go.
What happened with the penalty, by the way?
It's an extraordinary Champions League night. As you heard from Rob Daly, the penalty was missed by Mauro Icardi. Then we heard the own goal after the stunning strike from Fede Valverde. Elsewhere, Copenhagen 1, Bayern 1, Lens 2, Arsenal 1. That would be a famous victory for the French side. PSV 0, Sevilla 1, and Inter 1. Benfica 0. Here is Jude Bellingham.
And Bellingham is driving up towards the corner of the penalty area, and he's dancing his way forward again, and Di Lorenzo makes a challenge, and now the ball will keep running and go out of play, and it will be a goal kick. And Real Madrid, twice in this game, have come from nowhere to get themselves in front. Napoli, after they scored to go to 2-2, it looked inevitable that they'd score again, but never, ever, ever, as we've learned for what, 50, 60 years, write Real Madrid off.
And the thing with Real Madrid is that the key for them is always the same one, to stay alive in every tournament in February. That's the most important thing for them. And then in March they catch with their own rhythm, and they tend to be very competitive until the end. And look, last weekend they had to beat Girona just to take the lead of La Liga, and they did it. And today this result is a small statement as well for Real Madrid, considering that against Union Berlin at Santiago Bernabeu, some fans left maybe a little bit disappointed because the team didn't actually play that well, even though they won. But this result is way more remarkable. And where you get it, especially, the game is not over, of course, but Real Madrid is winning 3-2. And, you know, I think that Carlo Ancelotti has done the right substitutions to keep the scoreline like this.
Here's Dani Carvajal moving forward up towards the edge of the penalty area. He tries to stab the ball in towards Bellingham. It's cleared away by Nathan. Just to keep you updated, by the way, there's 8.5 minutes to go in this game here. There's so much happening. It's moving so fast. We might need to get a message to Clement Turpin just to try and add about 30 minutes extra time on here, because this is so much fun, this game, enjoying it so much. There's a ball inside, looking for Elif Elmatch, and Nacho's in the way, it's out of play for a corner. I could watch this game all night.
It's been a brilliant game, and also there has been so many chances, especially from minute 45 until minute 60. Napoli really charged and really tried, and they scored the goal as well. But sadly for them, Real Madrid scored this goal from Fede Valverde, and you know, it's a set piece for Napoli, so watch out for this one.
Well, here comes the corner, which is delivered right into the centre goal, and Osimhen goes for it, and then it's a real goal-mouth scramble, and in the end it's away by Ferland Mendy, who just managed to smuggle the ball away. It was Osimhen who jumped for it. It seemed to fall between a cluster of players 4 meters out, and it was Mendy who reacted better than anyone to get the ball away.
Well, extraordinary late drama in the Champions League on this Tuesday. There is a VAR goal check going on at Parken at the moment for a potential handball against Thomas Müller. Matthias Tell has scored from the opportunity and thinks he might have got the winner for Bayern away at Copenhagen, and the check is over and the goal stands. So from behind, Bayern lead. And in that section, in Group A, extraordinarily, there's another goal at Old Trafford.
Rips the ball forward away by Sanchez. And he might be in here. Icardi, he's just missed a penalty. Can he score? He hooks it over Onana. Manchester United are appealing for the flag. It does not come. And moments after missing from the spot, Mauro Icardi makes amends with the coolest of finishes. One-on-one, scooped it over Onana. And the Turkish champions do lead at the Theatre of Dreams. Manchester United 2, Galatasaray 3, redemption for Mauro Icardi.
Amazing game. A goal in Eindhoven. Luke de Jong has equalised for PSV from the penalty spot after a foul on young Tillman by Sergio Ramos. De Jong with a very cool finish, so it's 1-1 there. Rob Daly, we've been hearing your commentary all night, but what is happening at Old Trafford?
OK, let's try and get through this, Chris. Galatasaray lead 3-2 at United. Antony's just come on for United. So United were 2-1 up. Aktürkoğlu made it 2-2 with a lovely finish. Then Andre Onana had possession of the ball in his own area, just gave the ball straight to Dries Mertens on the edge. Casemiro chopped him down in the box. Penalty at 2-2. Casemiro second yellow. Casemiro sent off. Manchester United down to 10. Icardi steps up to take the penalty, rolls it wide. Old Trafford gets a huge lift. They feel they're back in the game, but moments later that disjointed Manchester United defence comes undone. A long header forward from Davinson Sanchez, and Icardi suddenly played one-on-one, and Icardi scoops it over Onana. He was played on by Amrabat, who's playing at left back. He was about 3 metres behind the rest of his defence, and Icardi kept his cool. What a game here, Chris, and what a story as Galatasaray look for their first win at Old Trafford. United 2, Galatasaray 3, 4.5 minutes to play of the 90.
Well, they scored twice late. About at this stage, Galatasaray to get the point on match day 1. If they win here, they'll be in a wonderful position. I just mentioned that Luke de Jong had equalised. Well, Sevilla have gone up the other end, and they've scored in Eindhoven, so they lead by 2-1. I'll confirm the goal scorer when I know. But now Napoli are on the attack, John Bradley. We love a Champions League night.
We might need about 3 hours to talk about these games when they finish tonight. They really have been so exciting, so much drama, so much to talk about. It's Elmas on the right-hand side who moves it on towards Anguissa. Back towards Lobotka. We have 4 minutes plus stoppage time remaining. Remember, we had a lengthy VAR check for a Napoli penalty at the start of the second half, so I imagine there will be quite a bit of stoppage time. Here they come again, driving forward through midfield, and it's Di Lorenzo on the right-hand side. His cross is charged down by Ferland Mendy. It's a corner to Napoli, and once again they'll load up the penalty area. They are going to make a double change as well in a moment. It's going to come after the corner, which is taken quickly to Elmas, whose right-footed ball is headed away very well by Bellingham, and it's going to go up towards halfway, where it's gathered by Lobotka, the last man, up towards the left-hand side to Oliveira. 3.5 minutes plus stoppage time. Into the centre circle to Lobotka. Now Ostigard back in his central defensive position. Nathan has come back as well. They're not in a hurry here. They're waiting for the moment to strike here on Napoli. It's Kvaratskhelia. Everyone gets to their feet as soon as he gets on the ball, and he chips it from the centre of the field to the right-hand side. Again, it's Elif Elmas on that right-hand side against Mendy. Left-footed ball into the box. Round the back they come. Oliveira's trying to get there, and fully stretching. He can't quite get it. It's behind for a goal kick.
Confirmation on the Sevilla goal scorer, Youssef En-Nesyri. A brilliant cross in the right-hand side, and he gets across his man and somehow emphatically heads it home. It's a really fine finish. PSV 1, Sevilla 2.
Not many better headers of the ball than him are there around in European football right now.
Definitely not. That's why in Sevilla he's called En-Nesyri. And by the way, the guy who scored for the great player who scored for PSV was Luke de Jong, the same man that gave Sevilla the Europa League title in 2020, scoring a brace in the final.
Yep, they love the Europa League, but they're looking to progress to the round of 16 this season in the Champions League, and this would be a serious win away in Eindhoven. We are approaching added on time in all 6 of our late games, and I'm pretty confident to say that something will happen given the night we have had in Europe's elite club competition thus far.
Jons Kojus, Giovanni Simeone and Mario Rui are on for the home side. 2 minutes to go plus stoppage time. Kepa has just been shown a yellow card for delaying the restart of the game, and now goes to put it inside his penalty area, as a few notes are made by Rudi Garcia, and Kepa will restart the game, and we are waiting to see, with 90 seconds to go, whether Napoli can get back into this, whether Napoli can get an equaliser, or whether Real Madrid will see it home. They have taken off Vinicius now, by the way, and brought on Dani Ceballos, which maybe them saying we'll settle for what we've got and trying to see the job through.
Yes.
They are very, very good at seeing a job through once they're in front. Once again, Bellingham is the centre forward, and Bellingham is through the middle with Joselu. Now he's moving down the right-hand side, trying to run the clock down and manage the clock. It's a very good challenge on him to take the ball back by Elliot Elmas, who at the moment is playing just about everywhere for Napoli. He was on the right wing a moment ago, now he's in the left-back position. Østigård moving downfield. His ball towards Di Lorenzo's a little short, which holds his progress up a little and delays them moving downfield. But Nathan has the ball. He's 10 metres shy of halfway, just at the left of centre. Looks ahead of him and looks for a blue shirt. There's lots of movement, lots of running. It's Simeone on the corner of the penalty area. Outside him is Mario Rui. Now he looks up and delivers across towards Osimhen. Rudiger wins the header. Rudiger's won so many headers tonight, and he gets the ball away up towards Ceballos, and Luka Modric takes over, and he gets those little legs moving and moves towards midfield. It was given away, though, a careless touch by Dani Ceballos. He's caught Simeone, and that will be a free kick to Napoli, and they have an opportunity.
And if there is any game that motivates the son of Simeone, Gio, is a game against Real Madrid, because he's an Atletico de Madrid fan as well. And I think that maybe Simeone should have come onto the pitch a little bit sooner, just to populate the box with another player and to bring the extra voltage that a player like Simeone can bring in.
5 minutes of stoppage time. Giacomo Raspadori, the 21-year-old, who looks about 16, he's going to float the ball into the penalty area. Up goes Østigård. It's going to come to Kvaratskhelia on the corner of the box. He heads towards the byline. Left-footed cross. Up in the air it goes. Towards Østigård again. Taken down and a strike hit by Elmas. In goes the challenge by Raspadori. And then it's away by Modric, but tidied up by Di Lorenzo. And Mario Rui is the last man. And Mario Rui plays it left-hand side towards Raspadori again. A nice little pirouette turn from the youngster, who moves the ball onto Elmas, who was once that young player with so much talent. Now 24, he's grown up through this Napoli side into the success that they've become throughout Italy and Europe. Nathan helps the ball on again. It's Østigård. Further right it goes to Di Lorenzo. Back it goes towards Nathan, out towards the left-hand side, now to Elmas. Elmas cuts in field and finds Younes Talks. Talks helps it on again. Now Kvaratskhelia inside the penalty area, trying to twist and turn his Raspadori. Super tackle by